on a high-profile book tour. Former vice presidents typically get federal government protection for 6 months after leaving office, while ex-presidents do so for life. But then President Joe Biden quietly signed a directive extending protection for Harris for an additional year. Again, President Trump has revoked that. It's been a record-breaking summer travel season, and many will squeeze in one final trip over the Labor Day weekend. AAA estimates 11.5 million people will be traveling. Where are they going? AAA spokeswoman Axa Diaz tells the AP while many travelers are heading to classic American cities this holiday weekend.
People are going to Seattle because of Alaska cruises, Orlando for the theme parks and for the cruises that leave out of Central Florida, and New York City, Chicago, Atlanta, Boston, those classic American cities, as well as Las Vegas and Denver.
AAA also reporting the statewide average for a gallon of regular unleaded is $2.87. That's 4 cents more than last week, but 18 cents below last year. 9 Mile Garden is expanding. The region's first food truck plaza in Afton will open an 18,000 square foot indoor event center in the space previously occupied by O'Reilly Auto Parts, which downsized their space. The canteen, which is the indoor bar area, will be moved into the new space that will have a walk-up bar and patio and the ability to host events like parties and weddings. If you're wondering what the weekend has in store weather-wise,
KMOX AccuWeather, sunny to partly cloudy today and pleasantly warm this afternoon with a high of 86. Tonight, mainly clear with lows ranging from 55 in some eastern suburbs to about 62 downtown at the Arch. Sunshine mixing with clouds and warm tomorrow, high 85. Sunday, sun through high clouds, high temperature 82. Labor Day, clouds and some sun, high 80. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, we've got sunshine, 69 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris, Ranji, Amy, Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome in. It's Friday. It's gorgeous. And I officially did it. Guys, I wore a sweater every day this week. That was my goal, is to wear a sweater to work every day this week. John Hancock, Michael Kelley in, joining us on Friday as they always do. Chris Ranji is still out, so Michael Kelley has kindly agreed to sit in with us all day.
And I kindly agreed to go home.
He did.
Right. Isn't it a little too early, though, for us to be thinking that this is what the weather's going to be like for the rest of the
100%.
Yeah,
it's way too early.
It's a head fake. I mean, so we've got like 12 seasons in Missouri.
Yeah.
You got winter.
Right.
You got faux spring.
Right.
You got winter, too. You got the flowers are blooming.
Right.
And then you get the frost.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get spring.
Okay.
And then
that's like a day and a half spring.
Yeah. And then you get summer. And then you get the false fall, which is what we're living in right now.
But we this year we had about 10 days of the Sahara Desert.
No, it's
part of our summer.
death heat.
Yeah.
And then now you're in the false fall, which is the season we're now celebrating, and then summer again, summer 2.
Yeah.
And then the fall. And then the winter.
Yeah, because usually when it's like weather like this, I know people who have pools are thinking of closing their pools down.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I want to get the pool closed before the leaves come. And then by the time the leaves come, it's 100 degrees out.
Yeah.
Well, that climatological breakdown presented by Hancock and Kelley, you can continue to listen to us on 104.1
or not. I mean,
FM.
really, it's a choice.
Well, no, I don't think it's a choice. I think they would be ridiculous not to listen.
You can still listen on the OG too, 11:20 a.m.
You can, absolutely, or the Odyssey app. Take us with you wherever you go. I inform the listeners I am a P1, which means a very good listener. I listen all the time. I carry.
Is that what that is?
That's what that is. And I carry my phone with me. I listen on the Odyssey app. On the KMOX page on the Odyssey app, there's a microphone icon. You can leave us a voice message. You can also text us. I know Hancock and Kelley might be text magnets like Brad Young. He filled in yesterday, was a text magnet. 314-436-7900. You can text us there. You can call in there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, Ranj leaves town and they swoop in on Sheriff Alfred Montgomery. I think they knew his one supporter was out, so he was indicted on a federal charge. Meanwhile, St. Louis County Executive Sam Page pleads not guilty to charges that he misused public funds.
Here's a head scratcher that people will be talking about. President Donald Trump ends the security Secret Service detail for Kamala Harris. How about that?
And the Cardinals beat the Pirates 4-1. They split the series. Mizzou, kicking off college football last night, defeated Central Arkansas 61-6.
How about that? Now, Central
Good on the
Arkansas,
Tigers.
would that be a community college or is that a high school?
Parkway West.
Parkway, oh, they did.
Yes,
Parkway
Parkway
West.
West, they had an off night. Parkway West did, but they did score with, I think, 22 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
I think it's their alias or their, nom de plume. And so they have to have a different name, because I don't think Mizzou would play Parkway West if they knew.
Nom de plume,
Yep.
Peach. Mark that one down.
That's your pen name.
Another.
Really?
naming.
Is that what that means?
No, it's
a nom de plume?
it's
is
an
that French?
Yes,
Oui, oui.
for a pen name, like if you wrote a book.
Yeah.
Let's-
Mark Twain, for instance, was a...
Samuel Clemens.
I tell you, she's a walking Tyrannosaurus over here. She's it's unbelievable.
She's
Well, how was your chat with Catherine Hanaway?
Oh, it was good. She's doing well, and she's going to pursue the cases that Bailey had with Sam Page and Arthur Montgomery, it appears. So, and,
Alfred Montgomery?
whatever his name is. Alfred Montgomery. Who is that?
I know. I think he was in Bewitched.
I think that's exactly right. That was Alfred Montgomery. What's the guy's name now?
Alfred Montgomery.
Alfred Montgomery.
Yeah.
Right.
The sheriff. So
sorry.
she said she did clarify that she would continue to move forward, and also said that it was a part of a larger effort dealing with public officials.
Yep.
That's going on throughout the state. The other thing that I found to be interesting, I know Catherine. I fought her most of my adult life, but I know her to be a decent individual whose policies like Hancock are just messed up. But I was surprised she wants to do this. Politics is particularly the job of attorney general, at least from a Missouri standpoint, kind of turned into a performative job.
Mhm.
We're going to go sue China. We're going to go sue vaccine makers and kind of do some of the MAGA stuff. I don't know that Catherine Hanaway is that kind of individual, but it's become that kind of a job. And I'm surprised she wants to do it.
Does she want to bring it back to the job that it was meant to be, not just a stepping stone?
Well, what I think is most interesting about her particular background, because you look at, we've had this revolving door of attorneys general. Josh Hawley gets elected. He runs for the Senate. So then Eric Schmidt, who was at that time the state treasurer, former state senator, he then gets appointed attorney general, and he runs for the Senate. And then Andrew Bailey gets appointed attorney general. He had been the general counsel for Governor Parson most recently, and then he gets the appointment. Now he's off to D.C. Catherine Hanaway, the skill set that she brings to this, the experience that she brings to this, includes managing a 1,200-person law firm. The Attorney General's office effectively is a 200-person law firm. And so I don't know that anybody with that particular skill set has ever ascended to this office before. Plus, she was the Eastern District of Missouri U.S. Attorney for a good period of time during the George W. Bush administration. So she's been a frontline prosecutor, managed a prosecuting office, managed a law firm, and a unique and on-point skill set that we've not seen before. So I'm excited to see what she does.
No, I think, look, if we're going to have a Republican attorney general, Catherine Hanaway is probably one of the best, if not the best, that could have been chosen. I just thought of it from a personal aspect, knowing her, that getting into politics these days is different than it was even 5 years ago. And I'm sure she understands that reality.
Well, she's got a very good, Catherine, her political pedigree is quite sound as well. And so she's been around the block many times. So I don't think any of this is going to be a shock to her, and I think she'll navigate the political waters as effectively as she navigates the waters there in the Attorney General's office.
You know what the worst part of that job is, Amy?
What's that?
You got to live in Jeff City.
Well, I don't know that you have to.
You don't?
I don't know that you have to.
I mean, that you would agree with me that having to leave St. Louis to go live in Jefferson City would not be fun.
I was picking out houses in Jeff City back then.
Were you really?
I had my neighborhood all picked out.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think they should move the capital to St. Louis.
Or
Yeah.
like St. Charles.
Like Indianapolis.
Or
Where it
even
used to be.
Columbia. I mean, it's the part of the drive to the Jefferson City, whether you're from Kansas City or St. Louis, is that part where you have to get off Highway 70 and then you do that 50 minutes of, what is that, Highway 54?
27 minutes.
All right. 20. What are you driving? The DeLorean?
No, buddy. In fact, I obey the speed laws on Highway 54 because I've been pulled over a few times
Really?
over the years.
Ditto.
I've made that trip, I bet you,
What's that
1,000
town there?
times.
Is that Fulton?
Well, you got Fulton, you got
And if
Holt
you get
Summit.
busted in Fulton
They
for
go after
speeding,
you.
yeah, there ain't
Yeah.
no hiring anybody to fix that problem. They make you show back up.
Because
Yeah.
Winston Churchill was there.
That's right.
So
it's
you
an
all may
Iron
recall-
Dome or something.
You
there.
might recall that last week I had to give Wilma away.
That would be his dog.
No, the car, buddy.
Oh,
And so Wilma's frame was bent, and so I cleaned all the change out of the middle
That's
console
right.
there.
Yeah.
And so it set me on a quest, and I cleaned all of the change out of my other car.
Hmm.
And then, wouldn't you know it,
Yeah.
there's two little bowls in the kitchen closet there, full of change.
Huh.
Emptied them out.
uh-huh.
Upstairs in my closet, I got a little receptacle there
Yeah.
full of change. So I'm emptying. I've got two of these gallon hefty bags, not hefty bags.
Yeah, well, freezer
Yeah.
bags.
Freezer bags, whatever you
Mhm.
call them, the Ziploc deals.
Yeah.
I got two of those filled up, and then I got a little container filled up. And I looked at that sitting on the counter, and I said, "That's $300." That's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
I even
Did
told
any witnesses?
my father-in-law.
Must have been a lot of quarters in there. For that to be $300 and two freezer bags.
It was a vast array of different kinds.
Did you have
of
any half
coinage.
dollars? Did you find any half
No
dollars?
half dollars.
Okay.
I did have a couple of little pence from from England in there that they
Uh-huh.
didn't count.
Pin?
Whatever they are, the
Oh.
little guys. What do you call them?
Yeah,
A
they're
peso?
little, like
Yeah.
they're pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I spit them out.
Mhm.
So I go to the Schnucks there, and I'm pouring my coins into the little.
Oh, you went to the Schnucks.
Oh,
You didn't go to
that's
the
a
bank.
rip-off.
You gave 6 to
Oh.
7% of your money away.
10.9.
Oh.
It
Think
was
about
worth
that.
it. It was worth it.
Really, you could have gone to the bank and they'd given you all your
They
money.
didn't have one at my bank. I would have had to gone to Clayton or Maryland Heights to.
How
do
can a
that.
bank not have a change count?
Well, I'm just telling you, they didn't have one. So I go to Schnucks, and I'm it's next to a guy that's filling out a voluminous number of lotto cards.
Mm.
Oh.
And anyway, so I told Dad, I said, I got $300 here. It stopped crunching and counting, and it came out $296.48. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Thank you very
But
much.
you
That's when you
had to
tell the
give.
people walking by you, hey, you got any change?
Did you have to give up
Get over
30 of
300.
that, or was that already with the
No,
30
that was the
taken out?
total count. So Schnucks got their 10.9% cut of
Yeah.
that, and I walked out with the rest of the cash,
Yeah.
Wow.
which was lovely.
Well, good for you. You got the immediacy of having that cash in your hand.
Yeah.
Now, last week, you were telling us this was going to be an exercise to teach young Tula.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I needed the cash to pay the the home cleaner gal. So
yeah, but you could give
Yeah.
Tula a $1 bill or a $2 bill, and she would be just as happy as a
Tula's
$20
leaving
bill.
for Florida tomorrow.
Whoa!
Wow.
And little vacation.
What a life this little one's living.
No kidding.
She hasn't even started school yet. and she's
Oh,
going
she
to the
did
beach.
start school.
Oh,
She
did she?
start school?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's in the second year of
Aw.
preschool.
You have to be potty trained for preschool.
You do.
Yeah.
Man, we were under the gun on that one.
Were you?
But so far so good. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Really pleased about that.
Yeah.
Well, as Michael Kelley said earlier, Donald Trump has ended security detail for Kamala Harris, but on the highway of political conversation, John Hancock is a walking exit ramp. So we're going to take a break.
Hey now.
And
That was
come,
an impressive
and
little
come
segue
back.
there.
That wasn't. I think as segues go, that's probably like a 3 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
He's John Hancock, Michael Kelley. I'm Amy Mark Scores. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Open Phone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Open Phone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Open Phone. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Open Phone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Hi, Debbie Monterey here with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. We've worked together for more than 5 years, and I've learned a lot about you and your business. Today, I actually found out a few things I didn't know, like your home sales stats. Compared to the average agent who sells less than 4 to 6 homes a year, you actually sell a home just about every other day. And even more impressive, your business has been built on giving back to our local community, including supporting St. Louis Children's Hospital.
Thank you. Every business should have a Go Serve Big initiative. When someone makes a referral, they're helping our communities, including St. Louis Children's Hospital, which is very special to me and my family because they helped me when I had my son many years ago. Today, sellers want to sell with certainty in this uncertain market. My upfront written guarantees are my secret to selling your home fast and for top dollar.
Friends, the secret is out. Call Gloria now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Emergency evacuation
Breaking
order.
news that earns national recognition doesn't happen by chance. It's driven by the relentless focus, dedication, and commitment of a trusted newsroom.
Floodwaters are closing
Recently
roads
honored with the National Edward R. Murrow Award for breaking news, the KMOX newsroom continues to be the vital source of information for our region.
Shelter in place.
Timely reporting every day and rising to the moment when major stories unfold. 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
For residential and commercial heating repairs, service, maintenance, or installation, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. With over 50 years of HVAC service, get in your comfort zone this winter. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Michael Kelley, John Hancock, Amy Markscore is with you on a Friday as we head into the holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend. And Michael, as we mentioned earlier before I went to break, some news this morning that President Trump has revoked Kamala Harris's Secret Service protection. So she did have a Secret Service protection that would that went through July 21st, but then it had been extended by a directive that had not been made public, but it had been extended by Joe Biden for a year. But President Trump has revoked that. Yeah. Your thoughts on this move?
I mean, come on. I mean, it's petty, it's childish, it's immoral. And I mean, he's done this to other people that were cabinet members. This retribution campaign he's on. This is a former vice president. This is somebody that he spent hundreds of millions of dollars saying things about, riling up folks who may be inspired to do wacky stuff. And I wouldn't want that on my conscience if I was him. And I'm hopeful that Congress, hope in one hand and, see what you get in the other. I don't think we're going to see a Congress stand up. This is immoral and wrong. And I think it just, I don't know. I have even worse things to say, but I want to be appropriate.
Well, what'd you get in the other hand?
I don't know. It was an expression my dad used to have, and it's not appropriate for the radio. Halfway through it, I realized it. I'll tell you off air.
I don't know what the protocol is for former vice presidents receiving Secret Service protection. I don't know if that's typical. I
believe it's 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that.
But it can be extended.
I know that former presidents are protected for life by the Secret Service. I mean, it is petty. And in terms of his conscience, I don't think that's an issue for President Trump.
You don't have one of those.
And, it's of all the things that have been, all the edicts that have been given so far, this one doesn't particularly.
But this one is so transparent to me that it's human life safety. I mean, come on. We all watched the ads that these folks ran on each other.
Sure.
This is not appropriate behavior. We can't protect kids in churches going to schools, but we're going to say that, all these people are sane enough that they're going to leave Kamala Harris alone after everything that's happened. It's just so transparent that even as an opponent of Kamala Harris, how you can't look at this and say, this is immoral. I mean, it's just, it's transparent.
It's certainly petty. And, as I say, I don't know what the protocol is for protecting a vice president. I mean, you can look at a number of decisions that have been, let's go raid John Bolton's house. I mean, there are a number of these things that have happened and transpired over the last 8 months that, are precedent setting.
And so I know that everybody likes this. This is part of what the president wants, is us to all get exercised about this. This is a part of this flood the zone culture that they have where they're trying to overwhelm us with stuff. But what about Barron Trump the second Donald Trump leaves the White House? Does Bernie Sanders, as the next president, get to say, guess what? Barron's not going to be protected? I mean, it just, what are we doing? What point is this serving? You beat Kamala Harris. Joe Biden's in your rearview mirror. Go work on your own legacy. And why to try to put someone's personal health and safety in jeopardy like this? Makes no sense.
Yeah, and it's frustrating too, because we do live in a different political environment right now.
Yes, we do.
And so much of the rhetoric is violent and existential. And that's a dangerous combination. We've seen attempts at the life of President Trump himself. So for Trump to make this move, it's petty and political, because I would say in our current environment, yes, we should keep this extended protection for a former Vice President Kamala Harris, who ran for the presidency against Donald Trump. Like, out of an abundance of caution, let's keep this. But I do think there's an element of this that is very much on brand for Donald Trump, who likes the strong man, who likes the mob boss, because people say, he's a dictator, he's a fascist. No, he's not. He's not Hitler. I mean, you have to be pretty bad before you're Hitler. He's not a dictator. He's not a fascist. He couldn't define fascism. They're academics who have a hard time defining fascism. What he is he loves the idea of a strong man and a mob boss. And what does a mob boss do? You stick with me, I'll protect you. What you don't want me to do is lift my arm of protection and leave you to the wolves. And I think that kind of harkens to this of, I'll protect the people that are on my side, but Kamala Harris isn't in my good graces, so I'm removing some protection from her. It feels mob bossy. And yes, it's his purview to, I guess, remove Secret Service. But
maybe that's what ought to change, right? Like, why would a president have, this type of authority to take away that kind of stuff?
Well, we're all going to find out.
From a former president and vice president.
Eventually, we're going to find out what the authority is for this, for calling the National Guard, for a host
firing
of
a Fed
things.
person.
Well, with that,
but
lawsuit.
The issue there is
flood in the zone.
The courts. I mean, in our court system, by design, moves slowly because of the principle of due process and so when the courts are the lone check on executive power, and that's where we are right now in this country, there is no legislative check on any of this stuff. And so if you're relying on the courts to be the lone check on excessive executive power, which whether you like or dislike Donald Trump, it is inarguable that the exercise of executive power in this Trump 2.0 administration goes far beyond anything we've ever seen in the history of this country. So if you like it, great. If you don't like it, it is what it is. But it is inarguable that this is an excessive flexing of executive power, and the only check on it is the courts, and that's going to take time. Donald Trump will probably be out of office before many of these questions get resolved.
Well, and if you like it, okay, so you like it with Donald Trump, are you going to like it with AOC?
No.
When we have President AOC and she exercises, you would imagine more, because why wouldn't she continue to expand the branch?
Which is why these cases have to proceed, even if they don't get resolved until Donald Trump is gone, because we have forced now the courts to examine our constitution, to examine the boundaries of executive power, and the courts are going to have to sort that out according to the Constitution. And I hope that those justices who have originalist bents on looking at the Constitution will apply that to these cases here, because an unchecked president of any party, an unchecked president is a scary thing. You need only to read the Federalist Papers to see exactly what the founders were alerting us to. And a lot of those things that they were alerting us to in the Federalist Papers are unfolding right now before our eyes.
He's John Hancock. That's Michael Kelley. I'm Amy Markscores. It's the Chris and Amy Show. We are going to continue the rest of the hour with Hancock and Kelley. Later on in the show, Pat Kellett, president of the St. Louis Labor Council, will join us, as will Dale Schilly, St. Louis SC Academy Director and Broadcaster, and Kurt Ringkamp, General Manager of the Gateway Grizzlies.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from the Gelman team of eXp Realty. If you want immediate cash for your home, or to see what your home is actually worth in today's market, find out for free from the local experts. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum, Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
Energy security isn't a slogan. It's a necessity. American-made energy means we call the shots instead of depending on foreign sources to fill our tanks. Made here in America, ethanol keeps gas prices lower at the pump. It's reliable, creates jobs, and strengthens farming communities. Tell Congress to support nationwide year-round access to E15, a lower-cost fuel made with 15% ethanol, because American-made energy should come first. Paid for by the Renewable Fuels Association.
Everyone needs to have at least one person in their corner in life. When you don't, it's an extremely lonely and frightening place to be. But knowing you have that one person gives you peace and hope. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Since 1988, myself and my firm have been in so many corners for so many clients for so many years. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason, and it's not even close. We fought like hell for you. We fight the bullies, automobile insurance companies, the makers of unsafe products, medical providers who injured or killed their own patients. It has been such an honor and made my life complete. If you ever need us, it's easy. On your mobile device or computer, visit forthepeople.com, and then we get to work 24/7. Whether you're hurt in a car crash, injured on the job, or have questions about your Social Security, we're here for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Tom Ackerman here for Busey Bank and Building Community. We honor the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum for using the history and lessons of the Holocaust to reject hatred, promote understanding, and inspire change. Visitors to the museum are empowered to translate the history of the Holocaust into meaningful action to make our community stronger. Visit the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum in person and online at stlholocaustmuseum.org.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President of Busey. Building Community is creating bridges that bring people together. A visit to the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum reminds us that by rejecting hatred and embracing understanding, everyone feels safe, valued, and connected. A community where everyone thrives is what building community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. All good things must come to an end, and this is your last chance to move to the Preserve. Choose for one of our 6 move-in ready market homes or our magnificent Turnberry display at Mackenzie and Watson Road. Enjoy the many trails, lakes, and loads of wooded common ground at this terrific location. Take advantage of the tremendous savings and special 5.5% 30-year fixed financing on select homes. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Michael Kelley, John Hancock, Amy Mark Scores
Here we
with
are.
you. We shall continue, despite John's efforts, just a little bit more political conversation.
All right, fine.
We'll focus on the local. Let's start with St. Louis County Executive Sam Page pleading not guilty to charges that he misused public funds. Where do we go forward with that? He'll be in court next month, I believe. Is that how that works?
Well, yesterday he pled.
Mm-hmm.
We spoke today with Catherine Hanaway, the Attorney General designate. And she said that she has no intention of changing course on either of the issues that the Attorney General's pursuing in the St. Louis region. I think this now just goes into the long, slow process of the courts till ultimately there's some type of resolution or trial. And I probably will side with the theory that John has on how he thinks this ends.
Yeah, I think they're gonna negotiate a plea, and the plea is going to be they're going to drop the felony charges of stealing, and he will plead guilty to the misdemeanor charges of election whatever, and agree to step aside as county executive. And I think everybody will shake hands, and that'll be it. That's how I think this is going to play out. I don't think. And here's the thing: Sam Page can't raise money right now. And he's not raising money right now. He's got an announced opponent who is raising money right now, and that's Brian Williams, the state senator from North County. And if you can't raise money and you can't mount a campaign, you're probably not going to run. And so if you're not going to run anyway, and you can plead this issue down to a misdemeanor and leave office and go back to being a anesthesiologist, which is Sam Page's trade, that's the most likely outcome of this thing.
And just to clarify, when you say leave office, are you talking about leaving office early?
Yeah.
Do you anticipate that happening?
I mean, I think that's more likely than not. But I suppose he could reach a plea that does not require him to step down. But you look at the precedent here, and the most direct, immediate precedent is Kim Gardner, who the Attorney General was pursuing. And she ended up pleading out, and part of that plea was that she would resign as the circuit attorney. So, I mean, if precedent is meaningful, we might see the same kind of thing here.
Over across the river on the St. Charles side, St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman, maybe, kind of, we're not sure, might reconsider running for re-election. He first announced his plans not to run for a 6th term a couple of years ago in the summer of 2023.
Yep.
But now he might be maybe considering it. What do you make of this?
I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I know Mr. Ailman, independent of politics. I grew up in St. Charles. He and I go to the same church growing up, and he was a friend of my father's, and I considered him to be a friend. I don't agree necessarily with his politics all the time. I'm surprised he's doing it because this is a guy who's had a long history of public service. I mean, he's been a judge in St. Charles County. He's been a state senator. He served as the county executive. Was he in his 9th year of being county executive? 19th year of county executive. And when he announced that he was going to retire, I kind of believed him because I know him. I mean, he's given his life to St. Charles to this point.
And one of the reasons is that he has said the political environment has changed.
Yeah.
It's gotten uglier.
And I wonder how much it's changed. Has it even changed past him? And as a friend of his, I'm surprised he's doing it.
Well, I'm very intimately involved in this situation. I had run a number of Steve's campaigns over the years. And when he announced his retirement, I began working for Jason Law, who's running. He's a former mayor of Lake St. Louis. He's a lieutenant colonel in the St. Louis County Police Department, ran the strike force that goes after organized crime and gang activity in the region. Great candidate. And so, the incumbent says they're going to retire. People step up to run. Another person that's running is Bill Eigel, who's the former state senator who ran for governor against Mike Kehoe and Jay Ashcroft just last year. And, if Steve Bellman gets into the race, he's clearly a formidable candidate right off the get-go, and he's had the job. I don't know what this all portends and how things end up shaking out if Steve does get in the race. I'm surprised, have been surprised that he announced that he's considering running. But it's I would think, having done that job for as long as he has, he's very vested in what's best for St. Charles County. And I know that that's what motivates Steve Bellman, is what's best for St. Charles County. And so we'll see how this all plays out. Filing opens in February. And there'll be a lot of, I'm sure, discussions and back and forth talks and a lot of decisions and a lot of various thoughts that people are going to have to entertain. And the only thing I know for sure is that it will shake out. And it's a big decision to make, and retirement is, it's not for everybody, I guess.
And over on what's going on back to downtown St. Louis, where Missouri State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick found at a report that there is inadequate funding currently to make the necessary repairs at the Dome at America Center. So according to the auditor's report, the Dome needs an estimated $155 million in repairs and maintenance over the next 10 years. However, the Regional Convention and Sports Complex Authority, the RSA, has a cash balance of $89 million as of December, which throws the Dome into this weird limbo that it needs extensive repairs. 89 million is nothing to sniff at, but far short of what the auditor thinks they're going to need to repair the Dome. So what is the future of that space?
I don't even think they have enough money to pull the thing down. I mean, file this in the file of nothing works in this town. And it's just so depressing to watch. We've all watched the erosion of this building. Stan Kroenke wrote us a letter telling us exactly what was happening to this place, and that if, what ultimately was going to take place. We were warned. We've, like everything, we just keep whistling past the grave here on some stuff, and we're going to have some real consequences. It's a giant elephant sitting in the middle of downtown. It is crumbling. They've got issues. They can't maintain it. I think we're going to go into triage mode soon, which is that hopefully we're going to pull it down and take a pause on whatever we're up to at this convention center and come up with a real plan to try to bring people back to St. Louis.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple equation. If it costs more to keep that thing standing than it's producing in revenue, then you're throwing good money after bad at that point. If you try and fix it up, maintain it, renovate it, whatever. Do you need that much floor space? I don't know that there are many, if any, conventions that come to town that actually utilize all of that or any part of that floor space in the Dome. Of course, you do have those 4 Battlehawks games every year.
And the Methodists.
And the Seventh-day Adventists. But, I would think that there's a more prudent use for that footprint of land than a big Dome stadium. Now, it hosts some concerts, I'll give it its due. But the bottom line is, if it's costing us more to maintain it than it's generating in revenue, then that's a bad deal. And it needs to come down and be replaced with something that will generate revenue for the city of St. Louis.
Yeah, I have a very bipolar relationship with the city of St. Louis, because I think on one day, maybe you go to a Cardinals game, or there's a race or a parade or whatever it may be, and there are people downtown, and you see Energizer Park. What a great facility that is. You look down Market and you see Union Station. You think, oh, this city is beautiful. And then on other days, you're walking home from the Cardinals game by yourself, and there are 3 other people on the street, except for me, because I left the game early. And all three of them make me kind of uncomfortable because I don't know if they're on drugs. One's bent over, one's just yelling, or you drive around certain parts of town that just are the detritus of ages past. Like, yeah, it was great for a while, and now it's all run down and covered in graffiti and fences. And I struggle with feeling super hopeful one day and then super cynical the next day.
Yeah, I think that's right. Detritus, PJ, but put that next to nom de plume.
But why these words? Trying to make us look like nitwits over here. I feel like she's talking another language most of the time.
Well, detritus.
I got to do 3 more hours of this.
My doctor treated my detritus with, I think it was calcium pills.
Right. You can rub baking soda on it as well. It's an old one.
I do understand the feeling because we love this city.
Yeah.
Right. I love this city. I have very fond memories as a young lad of coming down to the city and Christmas time, famous bar decorated, and it's had moments of splendor even in fairly recent times. You look at that blues phenomenon of 2019 and the parade down, and it has the capacity, it has the potential to do that again, to be that again. And I think we need some visionary leadership in the political and corporate worlds to really get hold of this and try and turn things around.
But I think we all have that, Amy. Look, I mean, we all have and do poo-poo on St. Louis and the region and a lot of things that are going on. But I'll fight anybody who's from the outside who wants to come in and take us on, because it's where we're at. I think the hardest part as I've gotten older is I've lived through a couple of rebirths where things were working, like Washington Avenue. And boy, it's almost a perfect synopsis of what we're watching with the dome. I remember that Senator Kit Bond got a huge Great Cities, Great Streets initiative. And it was to do this whole roadway down Washington Avenue. They laid the old style bricks. They even put lights in the middle of the road. And we had the rebirth of what happened with the lofts, which brought me downtown St. Louis. And in typical St. Louis fashion, when it was time to repair that road, well, we didn't have the $20 million to fix that. So they just paved it over. $100 million road project. We have a dome that we had. We never had a plan to maintain that dome. And I think John's right. I think it comes back to a lack of leadership. I also think it goes to something that we sound like a broken record about, which is we're all in this together. This is no longer the city of St. Louis's problem. We've all are here because this city exists. No matter if you're in Troy, Illinois or Troy, Missouri, you are here in the St. Louis region as a result of this city. We've all got to find a way to fix it and make it better, or we'll just continue to deteriorate.
Yeah, and that's why, too, I think such a divided political atmosphere. And of course, it's always been political, but we're not going to move forward. And I know Steve Ellman, speaking of the St. Charles County Executive, has said, as goes St. Louis City, so goes St. Charles. Might be a few years behind, but that's what's going to happen. You can't be a suburb or a region of nowhere.
Growing up, I grew up in St. Charles, which was unheard of, right? Like we used to have jokes made fun of us from St. Charles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I know anybody in my life who hasn't moved out to St. Charles. All the people who used to make fun of me, etc., have moved out to St. Charles. The population that's out there, and what scares me about the mentality of the political discourse that's going on in St. Charles is they view the city of St. Louis and St. Louis County as an enemy. At times, I'm not talking about our county executive. I'm talking about a lot of the people who are running in this populist agenda. They're wanting to blow up city government, and I think it ultimately takes them out as well.
Yeah. What is that saying? Like poking out your eye to spite your face or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I will also say, if you drive around North St. Louis City, some of the most amazing architecture you will ever see.
Yeah.
And you drive around, and all I could think of is, how did we let this go? It's some of the most gorgeous architecture you've ever seen.
No question about it.
And that made me sad. And I think the one, I was down the other day because there's housing developments along Shoto that they'd been tearing down. And I guess they just started fencing in, and it was all graffitied, this housing development. And it just looked really bad. I mean, it looked like a city moving in the wrong direction. And I know they're going to tear it down, I guess, and build something better. It's just that interim makes you feel kind of down. But we do need to work together as a city. And again, North City architecture is insanely beautiful.
Most of the buildings that were built 100 years ago in the city of St. Louis are awesome. I had a friend in from Dallas. I think I've told this story. We went to a concert at the Old Rock House. And I think at the Old Rock House, I'm making this up, but it says the building's like 120, 140 years old. When the guy saw it, he said, we don't even have anything 40 years old in Dallas. Yeah. This is unbelievable. Like he's taking pictures of an old building because he's never seen old buildings like that. He's from Dallas.
Yeah, that's a great point. Michael Kelley, John Hancock, Amy Mark Scores with you. A few more minutes with Hancock and Kelley on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Frank, did you get the mail?
Coupon, Medicare, AARP. Oh, wait, this one says open immediately.
First one in the trash.
Every day we're bombarded with messages that we don't care about. Problem is, there might be an important message in there that affects you, like retirement. For example, on September 23rd and 25th, Steve All of the All Financial Group will be hosting a Taxes in Retirement seminar at Stone Summit. From the big beautiful bill to taxes on your Social Security, Steve will cover it. It's a complimentary event, but seating is limited, so reserve your seat today. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
What about this coupon for a new lawn service?
We live in a condo.
So?
On the 3rd floor. Mom always said I shouldn't have married you.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional or guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum, Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend. Oh, my Bob!
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Our question of the week.
Yes.
Is Bruce Springsteen overrated? Apparently, John Hancock has some strong feelings, and he voted in our question of the week.
I was scrolling last night, and boom, there it was.
Well, how did you vote? Or is your vote confidential?
No, it's not confidential. I voted with the majority.
Which is what?
That he is overrated.
Oh. Now, I didn't grow up a Springsteen nut, and I had for Andy Banker is a Springsteen nut.
Yes.
And I know Springsteen nuts, people who are obsessed with
Reardon
them.
on the other station.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way with you too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I
With
did.
us too?
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
with you too. I'm that way with you too as well, and Bono. But
I'm that way with you too.
Here's the thing. About 5 or 6 years ago, I went to a U2 concert up in New York, and Bruce Springsteen had a one-man play on Broadway called Springsteen on Broadway. An ingenious name.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing I've ever seen on Broadway.
What did he do?
It was a one-man show, and he tells the story of how he got into music and what his lyrics really mean, and it's a whole story. He talks about his mom and living next to the Catholic Church and yada, yada, yada. It was incredible. I think it's on Apple Plus or Netflix. It's worth some time watching it. But it made me a Springsteen nut. He is not overrated. I think he is in superstar status among the ilks of U2 and the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen. I put them all up there together.
So when I consider whether an artist is overrated or not, for me, it's all about the music. It's about the quality of the music, the intricacy of the music. He's not a particularly good singer. And
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah, I mean, it's a distinct voice. I'll grant you, but it's not particularly. If he weren't Bruce Springsteen, if he was standing out on the street corner doing the,
most
you
people
probably wouldn't put $1 in the box.
His songs are covered by so many people, and some of them even better than his originals.
I would think that would be an easy part. But,
oh my gosh! This is Hancock, not Kelley talking.
I'm just
Keep
saying.
going, John.
I'm
Hancock.
just saying that
about your email address?
Just on the music. I don't think he is in the upper echelon of pop musical talents. Now, based on the success, the sales, the image portrayed, all of those things, he's off the charts.
If I may take a subtle jab at you as a man who likes ragtime, all ragtime music sounds alike, and therefore it doesn't have the subtleties and ingeniousness of music. That is essentially the argument that you just made about Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, you're bringing a 10 ear to the table, Michael, which I can appreciate. Okay. But I'm just saying that on a musical level, there are so many other artists that are more. And Tracy Chapman, more interesting than Bruce Springsteen.
Tracy Chapman,
but she's got 3-4 songs. Bruce Springsteen has a catalog of music that will be with us forever.
I think that's what he's saying is she should be at the Bruce Springsteen level. But to kind of devil's advocate, or I should say Springsteen advocate, but Bob Dylan didn't have a traditional beautiful voice.
No,
and he was a musical genius.
He was a lyrical genius. He was his lyrics, and I think Springsteen ought to be given his due for writing.
Yeah, but I'm not sure
lyrics.
that most people would say that John Lennon had a beautiful voice. He wrote good songs. He had a unique sounding voice. I don't think it was beautiful. Of course, he's Bach, he's Beethoven.
Yeah.
Same with Paul McCartney. But I mean, it's not uncommon for folks to have a unique voice that may not even sound great. A lot of people don't think Taylor Swift has that great of a voice.
She doesn't.
I do think she has a good voice, but I like her songs.
As much as we're poo-pooing Bruce Springsteen, I would 100%.
We are not.
Go. That's right, John. I started poo-pooing him, but then compared to Brad Young, it sounds like I'm the world's biggest Bruce Springsteen fan. But I would go to a
Brad was hating on Bruce Springsteen too. Well, is this all you conservatives meant because he spoke his opinion about our goofball president?
No, buddy.
Come on.
I would go to a Bruce Springsteen concert. I would. I think
I would too if
he'd
it
be
were
good
free.
in concert.
Yeah, if somebody gave me a ticket, I'll.
Hancock and Kelley going to do 2 more hours with Amy?
See you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not sticking around.
I got important things to do, places to go, and people to see.
Speaking of one-man shows, Michael Kelley will be hanging with me.
Yes.
John Hancock is out the
Ta-ta.
door. It's the Chris and Amy show on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
It is 10 o'clock, and right now we've got sunshine, 74 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. The St. Louis Police Foundation will not be renewing an agreement to boost the salary of the police chief an extra $100,000 a year. The foundation's Michelle Craig telling the Post-Dispatch it was just a 3-year deal and there are no discussions about continuing it. So far, there don't seem to be any talks in City Hall about ways to replace the 6-figure pay cut for Chief Robert Tracy. The White House, and specifically the president, made the decision yesterday to revoke Secret Service protection for former Vice President Kamala Harris. By law, the outgoing vice president is granted 6 months of Secret Service protection, but in recent administrations, that's been extended because of heightened threat environments. In early January, President Biden signed an executive order extending Harris's detail to 18 months after she left office, but President Trump is revoking that just as she is set to embark upon a high-profile book tour. A court hearing scheduled this hour on President Trump's attempts to fire Fed Governor Lisa Cook.
In a court filing this morning, President Trump asked that he be allowed to fire Cook immediately. He has cited allegations that Cook committed mortgage fraud when she bought a home and condo in 2021. Cook filed a lawsuit yesterday arguing Trump doesn't have the power to remove her from office. She says he must prove malfeasance. In its own court filing, the Fed took no position on Cook's lawsuit, but asked the judge to issue a prompt ruling. In the 112-year history of the Federal Reserve, a president has never fired a Fed governor. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Workers at the Centers for Disease Control held a rally in Atlanta yesterday in show of support for the agency's ousted director and other departing leaders. The White House says CDC Director Susan Menarez has been fired for not being aligned with the president's agenda of making America healthy again. 4 other high-ranking officials have also left the CDC this week. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder spoke with some of the departing leaders and has more on their motivations.
They resigned with no backup plan. Okay, this is how desperate they are to send the signal that things are not all right. This is not normal, what is happening right now.
One of those leaders stressed there needs to be a scientific leader at the CDC, and without one, they knew they could not continue there. Maryville University is trying to net an NCAA Division I hockey program. It's nearly halfway toward its $5.5 million fundraising campaign to pay for necessary improvements to the Maryville University Hockey Center in Chesterfield. Hockey director John Hogan tells KMOX's Total Information AM an NCAA D1 designation would elevate the experience for student athletes to the varsity level.
We're talking scholarships and playing against the top teams in the country. If it's Michigan, Michigan State, the Bostons, Denver.
The hope is to break ground on an expanded facility next spring and have an NCAA Division I men's hockey schedule by the 2027-28 season.
Plenty of sunshine and pleasantly warm this afternoon, high 86. Tonight will be clear, low 55 in some eastern suburbs, about 64 downtown at the Arch. Sunshine mixing with clouds and warm tomorrow, high 86. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is sunny, 74 degrees in downtown St. Louis at 10:03. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Michael Kelley filling in for Chris Ranji, and it's actually a perfect day for you to be my co-host because it is Labor Day weekend, and you are the first family of labor in the St. Louis area.
You and I belong to a union. We're both
do.
in SAG-AFTRA. I also happen to be in the United Food and Commercial Workers, Local 655 here in St. Louis. How about that?
Can I ask, what would prompt you to be? Is that for your job?
Well, when I grew up, I worked at the grocery stores, and I just kept my membership with them throughout this entire time because I believe in the cause of fighting for workers' rights.
Excellent. Well,
and so we are going to talk a little Labor Day stuff. We're joined now by the president of the St. Louis Labor Council. His name is Pat Kelley. Pat, thanks for joining us on KMOX.
Well, good morning, Mike and Amy, and happy Labor Day weekend.
Happy Labor Day weekend to you. Now, full disclosure, my father used to be the president of the St. Louis Labor Council, and now you sit in that job. Remind people what the Labor Council is here in St. Louis.
Well, big shoes to fill with your father. He was a lion in our industry for darn sure. But so the Labor Council is a federation of unions and its members here in St. Louis, but we are associated with the National AFL-CIO. And there's some 15 million members at the National AFL-CIO and about 500 chapters. So we're one of those chapters here in St. Louis and about 7 surrounding counties. We're nearly 100,000 members. And, we work to, mobilize and organize workers so they have a voice in the political process.
Well,
go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so anytime you drive by a job, whether they're building at BJC or a local university or a new house, those are likely union members, and they may be carpenters, electricians, etc., and they all belong under your council. And under your council, you got a lot of stuff going on right now in the St. Louis area. In particular, Boeing, our region's largest employer right now, finds itself in the midst of a strike. Mr. Kelley, what's going on out there? What's the status, and what's your prognosis for the future?
Well, I did talk to President Bowling this morning, Mike, and the prognosis is good. I mean, let's first say how lucky we are to have Bowling in town, right? And I'll tell you, Mike, I've been out on the line, I don't know, a half a dozen times. I talked to those workers, and they feel the same way. They know how blessed we are to have Bowling here. And Bowling's doing well financially right now. I mean, but it's time to share with the workers. I think the media, the national media, is kind of given a one-sided observation of what's going on there. I get to talk to the workers on a daily basis. It's time for Boeing to keep doing the good things they're doing, but also to share it with the workers on the line. They're a very educated workforce. They're part of our national security, safety in the commercial jets. And these men and women deserve a fair shake. And Mr. Bowling, our president, certainly wants to thank everybody's support. The public support's been wonderful. The union brothers and sisters have been wonderful for them. He feels good. They're going back to the table after the holiday. And hopefully we'll get these men and women back to work real shortly.
Well, that's good to hear. But the news there is that there's nothing's going to happen between now and the end of the week. It appears as though this strike could go on further into next week. So hopefully that will find its way out. Pat, we also saw job action going on in downtown St. Louis with janitors. What's going on with the janitors in the city of St. Louis?
Yeah, well, I was fortunate enough to join that. It was a rally. It was, let the general public and certainly Mr. Novelty know what we think of that. So there's some 16 janitors in the building, the Regents building in Clayton, and they make about $14 an hour with no benefits. You think about that workforce, probably mostly taking public transportation and, working in the middle of the night. And $14 an hour with no benefits, it's just no way to raise a family. It's, so if we were lucky enough to have that building organized, those union members make an average of $16 an hour with health care, with a pension, and a future. And that's why I was proud to be down there, talking on behalf of those non-union workers. And hopefully we can talk to the owner and get those men and women a better style of living.
Pat, you were talking about the negotiations with Boeing, and obviously you hear those of us on the outside from the negotiations between the unions and the various companies. And is it each negotiation is very different than another? Some might be more cordial, some might be more tense.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I have a building trades background, Amy, and, we have a contractors association, all local contractors here in the St. Louis area. And yes, we have a very cordial attitude towards collectively bargaining for our members. It's advantageous for both of us, the contractor side and certainly union members, working in the buildings that Mike mentioned earlier. It's business. Is it tense right now at Boeing? Yes, it is, but it's business. Let's pray that, as President Bowling said, that we get back to work here real soon and get those jets flying.
Pat, several months ago on the show, we had a Salute the Trades week, just looking at all the different trades and the workers here in the St. Louis bi-state area, just how they keep our cities going. And I know that the trades need people. How is it with the unions maybe helping to recruit new workers into the trades? I know some high schools have some really cool programs now that are helping, whether it's construction or electrical or plumbing.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I had the privilege of going out to a workforce development. I serve on a workforce development board in St. Charles, and they have a workforce initiative, a junior college building they just put together, and all the trades are represented there. And the nice thing is they go to the high schools in advance and recruit the young men and women, as the unions do. Amy, we are always doing seminars and such to basically initiate what the building trades have to offer for the young men and women and their parents. So there's a lot of outreach going on. I will say this: we're fortunate in the building trades. We're a well-known commodity, and we have a lot of men and women applying for our apprenticeships, more than we can actually always take in. So it's a pretty good problem to have. But yes, you're right. As a whole, there is a need for building trades workers and manufacturing workers and such.
So here we are at Labor Day, Pat, and Labor Day is always kind of the end of the year. It's also a time to reflect on where workers stand. As I see it, workers, and in particular union members, seem to be the sexy object in this upcoming election. We see both Republicans and Democrats finally talking about workers' issues. Is that as unbelievable to you as it feels like to me?
Well, it is a good feeling. It is unbelievable. I mean, Mike, you know us well. You know we're a nonpartisan group, but we are being attacked at the same time. Yes, we are. There is a lot of focus on the organized worker, the blue collar workers. Amy and I were just talking about with the education stuff going forward. But listen, we're under attack. You know, these executive orders of slashing the right to collectively bargain is, you know, front and center of where we're at as a worker in the United States. And, you know, we're an educated workforce, and to slash our opportunity to collectively bargain with, which I mentioned earlier, contractors in the building trades, or even on a national level. You know, we have some 37,000 public employees in Missouri alone. And, you know, we're slashing Veterans Affairs. You know, those are doctors and nurses and technicians and such. Yeah, we're in a tough place to bargain and work for better conditions, safer conditions, and continuing education for our men and women on the line.
Pat, President of the St. Louis Labor Council, Pat Kelley. Pat, what do you do on Labor Day? Will you be tipping a cold one and cooking up a pork steak?
Absolutely. You know, we just celebrated with our workers this past Sunday. We had a nice parade and festival. It was fantastic, well attended, a lot of volunteers. So we're giving our members the Monday off, but I'll actually be out campaigning and working on behalf of this next redistricting thing. That's something we're going to be working on in the labor movement, and trying to talk to our legislators and change their minds where they're headed with that. So.
He is Pat Kelley, president of the St. Louis Labor Council, kind enough to join us here on KMOX. Happy Labor Day, Pat, and thanks for joining us.
Happy Labor Day to you, and thank you.
Thank you.
Amy, Labor Day is my favorite holiday of the year. It was Christmas at the Kelley house, and it still is to this day. Growing up, my father taught us the importance of helping those who can't help themselves and standing together to argue and negotiate for your own good. Labor Day is my favorite day of the year because I don't care if you're an electrician, if you're an accountant, a doctor, a carpenter, or even a domestic person working inside your own house or raising your own kids. This is your holiday, man. This is the day where all that work gets recognized.
Well, I know, I like you said, it's a weekend to celebrate. And one of our most fun weeks on this show was definitely saluting the trades.
Heck yeah.
Because, I mean, just whether it was like plumbers, electricians, we had like truckers, you know, I mean, just like
drive truck.
Yep. I mean, it was really, really cool. And I think with COVID, you really learn who the essential workers are, right? You know what I mean? Like your English literature degree, the world can survive without you for a while, but it can't survive without plumbers and electricians, right, and construction workers.
And it's also great because growing up, I was a part of that generation. You probably were too, where people were constantly talking to you about college, and college is important, right? For some people. I had a lot of my friends who got involved in the trades who still to this day are making an incredible living with pensions, raising families of, and sending their kids off. It's awesome to actually see people like welcoming the idea of, hey, maybe my kid might want to learn about, driving a earth mover or swinging a hammer. And it's noble work.
Oh my gosh.
And it's now getting the attention that it deserves.
I think we swung a little too far to the 4-year degree in the humanities or the arts, which are great. I mean, I say this as a writer, but I think opening up the opportunity, like you said, to build with your hands, to create, to work in the trades and have job security.
Right.
I mean, we're always going to need plumbers. I mean, someone even told me if you want a good living, become a plumber. If you want to struggle for the rest of your life, you can try writing. But
right.
I mean, it really is true. And I think you need to let kids know not everyone has to go to a 4-year degree and get a 4-year college and get a history degree.
Well, it's even bigger than that. And I would tell you grandparents out there, you parents who are out there, research this stuff. Go to the St. Louis Labor Council webpage. Learn about these apprenticeship programs that exist out there. For these unions, you get paid to go to school to become an electrician. It is 5 years of schooling. So you're in classes and then you're working on the job. So you're getting to learn your skill as you're doing it, and you get paid to do it. It is a great life, and these folks make great money. I hope that you'll encourage young people to look at it, because there are some significant opportunities here in the St. Louis area.
Absolutely. So happy Labor Day to everyone, especially all of the hard-working men and women across the bi-state area. He is Michael Kelley. I'm Amy Mark Scores. I have a question about a business that's popping up everywhere. I'm kind of getting sick of it. I've seen them everywhere. I'm going to ask you about it next on the Chris and Amy Show.
Hi, Debbie Monterey with Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, you've been helping families for more than 22 years with your guarantees, your buyers in waiting program, and you were telling me that between now and the end of the year is a good time to sell. Can you share why?
Always good to see you. When it comes to timing, the spring and fall selling season have historically been the most active. However, due to raised home value and affordability, this market still has lots of sellers and buyers on the sidelines. Fact is, between now and year end is a great time to discuss the sale of your home. I have guaranteed sale program solutions for every situation, including instant multiple cash offers, 100% market value, or my trusted guarantee sale program, where I'll sell your home at our agreed upon price, or I will buy it myself.
Sounds like a plan. The time is now. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com, gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
This town still cares passionately about Cardinals baseball. The fact that people are staying away actually reaffirms that they care passionately about Cardinals baseball, because it means a lot to them and it's personal. When they feel let down, they're going to protest by staying away. That actually tells me that they're passionate.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Online security is a must, and millions are choosing NordVPN to stay safer and more private online. And you can do that too. Get NordVPN with 77% off and up to 3 months extra. NordVPN will encrypt your online traffic from data snoopers and internet service providers, while NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro will reduce risk of phishing and alert you about the fake online shops and known scams. And that's not all. If your email address is leaked to the dark web, you will get an instant notification from the Dark Web Monitor and act accordingly. Get the special NordVPN deal today at nordvpn.com. This offer includes a 77% discount on a 2-year plan and up to 3 extra months. Savings and additional terms apply and can be found on nordvpn.com. The offer is valid until October 15th.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at Missouri Broadcasters.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
All right, I did have one quick follow-up after we chatted with Pat Kelley, president of the St. Louis Labor Council. He mentioned Donald Trump's order to stop collective bargaining agreements among more agencies. Like he wants to kind of cut down on collective bargaining agreements. So there's that side, which doesn't feel very labor friendly. But then we also know that Senator Josh Hawley, the Republican of Republican senators, walked the picket line with UAW workers out in Wentzville.
Well, and the head of the Teamsters spoke at Donald Trump's convention. So, organized labor. First of all, what President Trump is doing when he is canceling or stopping collective bargaining inside of agencies, that's where the government has direct control. He has nothing over the process of what happens at Anheuser-Busch or Schnucks or any other place or here at KMOX that a union. He has does not have that authority. That authority is in our law. But so that's what he's trying to do. And that's some of the the federal government-based unions. And federal government employees are not necessarily fans of Donald Trump because of DOGE. He's cutting jobs, etc. Unions are true democracies. They're there to advocate for their workers. Does that answer that?
Yeah, it does. Okay. It does. It's
it's complicated.
It's complicated. And like you said, sometimes rhetoric doesn't match action.
Well, and the thing about that, the president's rhetoric never seems to add up. But the thing about organized labor, and they often get demonized, and I'm sure some Twitter or tweets or whatever, and people may be texting that, but they kind of set the tone for the whole country. As their wage rates go up, they bring the rest of the non-union wage rates up with them. And so I just think they play an important role in our society. And isn't that a surprise to you that Michael Kelley would think that? You have an issue with a business that's popping up everywhere.
Listen, guys, every time a Steak and Shake shutters its doors, every time a fast food restaurant or a little block store in a strip mall closes down, it is inevitably replaced with a dispensary.
Really?
Don't you think they're everywhere?
I do think there are dispensaries everywhere.
And I get it.
But I thought they were limited by the amount of there can be by the state.
Well, then the number is high.
Yes,
I feel like I really feel like there was a little strip mall veterinarian that closed its doors. It's a dispensary.
Yeah.
There was a salon that closed its doors. There's a dispensary, a Steak and Shake. This is just in Ellisville. There's so many dispensaries.
One of my favorite bars in St. Louis used to be a place called Tom's Bar and Grill right there in the Central West End. It's at Euclid and Forest Park Parkway. It got purchased. Well, I mean, this was a go-to place. It was a political hangout, etc. It got purchased and is now a dispensary. Now, you're right. It feels like these dispensaries are everywhere. I don't necessarily have a problem with the dispensaries. I have a problem with the etiquette of the weed smoker.
Okay.
Because I'm appreciative of one that wants to partake. I see it just like alcohol to me. I think it's definitely not 100% good for you. It's a choice you make. If you drink alcohol, you know the consequences. If you're smoking marijuana, you know the consequences. But in the same sense that you're not out shotgunning beers, in the middle of the mall.
Or while you're driving. The people who are walking around smoking the marijuana and filling our entire life, every aspect. I don't care if you're going to a grocery store, if you're walking into a professional office building, if you're going into a government building, if you're checking out of a store. All I smell these days are weed. I just smell weed. And the fact that we've legalized it,
I don't know. There used to be a code around marijuana that you were, back in the 70s, I guess the stoners and the hippies, well, you kind of kept it under the radar. You did it by yourself in private. If you were in a large group, you stepped away. That etiquette's gone. We just smell like a bunch of skunks everywhere.
It smells so bad. I know I sound like such a prude, but if you could invent stinkless weed, I would be so in favor of that.
Yeah.
And I'm a prude anyway. I don't mind telling people how I voted. I voted yes for medical marijuana because I think opioids, I think it's criminal how we're prescribing those. And so I voted yes for medical marijuana, and I did vote no for recreational marijuana.
Sure.
And I knew it would pass.
Right.
But just personally, right? Do you think it's a bigger vice? Does it outweigh the benefits? And I did personally, but I knew it was gonna, it's gonna pass. It's popular with everybody, but it's the smell.
Yeah.
That bothers me. And you're not supposed to smoke while you're driving because it can impede your reflexes and your awareness while you're driving.
Well, it's no different. I mean, it's a drug just like alcohol's a drug.
But weed is a heavy smell. And as someone, you walk in Forest Park, I run in Forest Park.
It might as well just be smoking the whole time you're in there.
Oh my gosh. I know. I actually asked a friend how, if you can smell it, the aroma, does that mean you're breathing it in? That's such a dumb question. Am I going to get high? If I'm running 20 miles in Forest Park and the whole time I smell weed, one, my stomach hurts a little because it kind of makes me nauseated.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just need a break.
Yeah.
I need a break from the smell.
I'm with you on the smell. You're not going to get high from walking by or walking through a cloud of weed smoke.
Tell you, at mile 18, maybe I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, getting high, exactly.
Having a little break from the pain.
It is disappointing to see. And by the way, this is not exclusive to Missouri. I travel quite a bit, and we as a whole country now have accepted marijuana in a way that we're dealing in New York City. I was in New York not too long ago, and I feel like the entire city in front of the nicest hotels.
That's the number one complaint at the U.S. Open. You can smell it on the court.
Right.
And so a lot of the players who aren't from the United States maybe aren't used to playing tennis with the smell of weed permeating everything. It's been tough. But
it's not cool. It's just not cool. People, get some respect. Go hide.
Hey, I don't know the answer to this. 618. We'll throw it out there as we head to break. We have a 618 texting. In my day, marijuana smelled much different. It smelled good, not like the skunk weed today. What happened? I have heard that marijuana is way more potent now than it was in the 70s. Also, a 636 says, man, Mike, I miss Tom's Bar and Grill too. Spent many nights there.
Yeah, it was a great place.
Hey, we've got Dale Schilly next, St. Louis City SC Academy director and broadcaster on Y98. You can keep the texts coming in, 314-436-7900. It is the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
December 1st, it is happening. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, will be live in Missouri. You'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. You've got pro and college football, basketball, hockey all going on at the time. And with FanDuel, all kinds of ways to get involved in the action. Money line, over-under, bet the spread. How about who's going to win the championship? You can bet on that future, or who might just make the playoffs or win the division. Don't forget, you also can do parlays as well. Plus, live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. Live betting is so much fun. So download the FanDuel app now. You can get familiar with it because the app is going to be ready to use in the state of Missouri in December. It is coming up quickly, and I cannot wait. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and over, present in Missouri. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home. 2 gig upload, 2 gig download, mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
76 degrees currently in downtown St. Louis. Real feel 84. Mostly sunny and very comfortable today. A high of 85. Tonight, clear with a low of 59.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. Hi, Margaret at Eamon Gantner and Capriano. I was suddenly widowed at 41. We had a will. Do you? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. Choice of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely on advertising.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Tom Ackerman here for Busey Bank and Building Community. We honor the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum for using the history and lessons of the Holocaust to reject hatred, promote understanding, and inspire change. Visitors to the museum are empowered to translate the history of the Holocaust into meaningful action to make our community stronger. Visit the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum in person and online at stlholocaustmuseum.org.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President of Busey. Building Community is creating bridges that bring people together. A visit to the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum reminds us that by rejecting hatred and embracing understanding, everyone feels safe, valued, and connected. A community where everyone thrives is what Building Community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
Cardinal Cowboy here. After proving the doctors wrong following my accident, I got back to baseball, started kicking field goals, and finally got paid as a pro kicker and ultimately became a leader in the marketing world. That's why I trust Renner Garage Door, exceeding expectations for over 65 years. They service, sell, and install top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster. Get your free quote today. Check them out at RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER. Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com. Viking.com.
Today, the Cards, the Reds.
Emron Total Access 445.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Well, we are attempting to speak with Dale Schilly, St. Louis City Academy Director and broadcaster on Y98. But, maybe he's out on assignment.
Yeah.
He might
Well,
be.
there's been lots of changes over there at the soccer stadium recently. I'm hoping he gets to stay. It's not his problem they can't put the ball in the net.
You ever clean out your basement or whatever, you throw things away, you accidentally throw an extra. I hope he didn't get kicked out with Lutz.
All right,
I
we're
think
not
he's still
talking about
there.
Dale with this, but have you ever been fired from a job?
I have not.
Me neither.
Well,
if you would have gotten fired from a job, would your parents not have strung you up? That was the exact phrase my dad would have used.
Oh,
I will string
really?
you up if you get fired.
Wow.
We have manners and blah blah blah. But
yeah, I don't think so. It's hard. Okay, I have always made so little money, and my dad used to call me a professional volunteer that I think any business knew that they'd be crazy to fire me because I was basically free help. But I will say, okay, I was kind of fired. I quit one job. And then when I quit the job, I was also doing some writing for them. And it was probably my fault with the timing of the quit because I had left the country for a few weeks and then I came back and quit.
Right.
Which is probably not great, but you know how it is. You get back from overseas and you realize I hate this.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. So I quit the job and I was doing some writing for them and I think they were mad. So they sent an all staff email relieving me of my writing duties.
Nice.
Without telling me.
Huh.
And so my friend goes, "Oh, you're not writing anymore?" And I said, "Well, that's news to me." So I looked at the all staff email. Yeah.
So you have kind of. It just occurred to me. I'm now getting blown up on my text messages. I have been fired. I was fired on the front page of the Post-Dispatch, as a matter of fact.
What? Wait,
so
was that when they
there
wrote
was,
that
no,
beautiful
so
piece
here's
about
what
it?
happened. Bob Holden was the governor, and he was running for reelect. And the
Okay.
state auditor was Claire McCaskill, and she ran against him in the primary, okay, for the Democratic nomination. I was the executive director of the Democratic Party. So I was there as like, hey, I'm for all Democrats. Obviously, Bob Holden's our governor. He's the lead. And sure enough, when Claire McCaskill won that primary and then later lost the election for governor, right after she won that primary, I read in the paper on the front page from Joe Manny saying Mike Kelley to be replaced as executive director.
No.
So I have been fired.
And you were fired in an all-staff email, basically.
Yeah, but it wasn't one of those situations like where they were like, you're bad at what you did,
Right.
or get out. That didn't happen to me.
No, that didn't happen either, because when they fired me with the writing, then they sent in the all-staff email about writing, they sent me another email and asked me to train the new person.
That's not right.
And I said no, and then the new person lasted a year, and they brought me back, and it was all good. We smoothed it over. Don't take things personally. Don't burn bridges, and you'll be just fine. Speaking of being fine,
Okay.
I am relieved to let you know that Dale Shilley
He has been located?
Has been located.
Is he in a bunker?
He's not in a bunker. He's not hanging out with Lutz. I mean, no offense, that sounded terrible. We weren't sure in all the chaos, Dale, where you were. The St. Louis City SC academic director and broadcaster. How are you, Dale?
I am good. I was on the training field, so sorry about that. If I finished the shooting exercise early, I would have been thrown off the field by the players. So
exactly. So do you go out there and do the training yourself, Dale, or do you just have to examine them to see if they're doing it right?
Well, no. Today, now in the morning, I work with the City 2 team. So we're out with the 2 team today, and I think the team's on a 14-game unbeaten streak. So we've got a game in Houston on Sunday night with the 2 team. The first team plays Houston up here on Saturday night.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we mentioned, let's get into, I guess, Lutz at the beginning of the segment, obviously no longer with the team. I guess not a total surprise whenever a franchise is struggling or a team's struggling. Somebody's got to go. They make some changes. Were you surprised with the timing at all, with it being after that window where transfers and trades are being made?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 2 ways to look at it. Could it have been done before the window when you're identifying players that come in? Could it have been done after the window when you're trying to make decisions on the players that are here and what their fortunes are for next year? So, the timing doesn't surprise me. I think those are if there is a good time, those are the 2 times that I think are probably the most advantageous. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of ownership and leadership in the club, just looking at what they're wanting to achieve over the next 3 to 5 years and then making those moves that, as you guys know, are made, regularly in the sports world. It's what happens. It's the way that it works.
Yeah, no, it really does. When Craig Berube was fired from the St. Louis Blues, someone goes, well, you can't fire the team, so you got to fire somebody. I mean, it's just the way it goes. And of course, people know that with business, but I think one person in particular is probably on the minds of fans. And that is Roman Berkey, because it was Pfannenstiel who brought Berkey to City, and Pfannenstiel was a goalkeeper himself, and Berkey's contract is up at the end of this season. So what do you think about Roman Berkey's future?
Well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, Roman has developed relationships inside the organization as well. He is a pro, and he's a pro's pro. He understands the business part of this whole thing and the relationship side and what organizations have to go through in order to get to where they're trying to get to. At the end of the day, I think Roman wants to win games and wants to compete for trophies. And I think his eye will be towards how is the club going to shape itself up to help win games and be in the playoffs and be a regular contender.
Dale, I want to switch it up on you because a year from now, we'll be just finished up with the World Cup here in the United States. Hey, are there any St. Louis kids going to wind up being on the national team potentially that we may be able to see play for the Americans?
Yeah, I mean, the two guys that are that have the closest shot, I would say, would be Tim Ream and Josh Sargent. Tim getting up there a little bit in years, but he has been competing and has been playing with the national team. Josh has been in and out of pools and discussed and looked at, and it's really a matter of what his form is like when they go to select that team. But I would think both of them will have legitimate opportunities when they, start bringing guys in and starting to really take a hard look at the roster when they start doing camps.
So if one was planning ahead right now and you wanted to go see a World Cup game, of course, none of them are going to be in St. Louis. There'll be some in Kansas City, Dallas, Miami, all the big cities. What are the probabilities that you can find tickets still?
You know what? I don't know, but I better get on it because you just raised a good question. I think you could still find tickets. Certainly, there's games that aren't headliner teams that you could find tickets for. I remember. Now, this is in 1994. I was living in New Orleans at the time, and my wife and I made a trip over to Orlando to catch Holland and Morocco, which was a great game to see. And then we were able to find tickets for the Holland versus Ireland game, which I think was a quarterfinal, or not a quarterfinal, but around a 16. So the tickets are out there, especially in some of the stadiums that they're in. They're, you got 55, 60, 65,000 people and that seating capacity in some of these stadiums. So I'm sure you'd have to look soon, but I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah, Dale, I was 10 years old when the World Cup was in Chicago, and we got to go. And we went to a game at the old Soldier Field. And it's, when you're 10, you're old enough to remember it, but I wasn't old enough to realize, I would probably never be able to go to a World Cup game again, just how rare it was. And I can tell you what stood out to me, even more than the game itself. And that was all of the fans, especially from Latin America, Central America, South America, and the flags and the face painting. And I don't know if I would call it a costume or, I guess they were costumes, just so beautiful. I think people spent thousands of dollars on their get-ups and seeing them walk around the streets of Chicago. And I remember thinking, this is so cool, and we don't have fandom like this. This is insane.
Yeah. The songs, the chants, the nationalism, the pride. It's unique. I remember in I think it was a quarterfinal game that my wife and I went to in Dallas, was Holland versus Germany. I was a Holland fan.
I was going to say, why have you seen Holland all the time?
Yeah, exactly. But we were in our orange, and we sat amongst the Brazilian fans that were all in their yellow.
I would have been too. I'd have been with the Brazilians.
Well, I thought.
Don't worry about it, Dale.
They were going to kick us out.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Especially when Holland scored, and Kelley and I were jumping up and down, and we had. Move. Not a wise move. I was a rookie at World Cups, that's for sure.
Can we find you then? Will you be at Amsterdam Tavern when when the Netherlands play?
I may. I don't know. I won't find a seat because there'll be others there for sure.
I've never seen so much orange in my life as when we went to, I don't know what game it was, or a final at Amsterdam Tavern. They had tents outside. People were outside because there were just hundreds of people in bright
especially
orange.
I mean, this is not unique to Amsterdam. You go to these soccer bars all over the country, they'll stand in pouring rain to watch games go 0-0. They're quite fans.
Oh my gosh. And the songs that they sing in England, a lot of them are personal and go back to World War II. It's insane.
And I think the more passionate about your team you are, the more consumption of beverages you must do.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the cities will have, not just watch parties, but they'll have sections of the city shut off with big screens. And, I know in Kansas City, they have the district where people will watch the games on a big screen. Other cities will have the same. That's a pretty normal practice now around the world for the World Cup.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And, looking forward to the game on Saturday as City SC hosts the Houston Dynamo at 7:30 p.m. Dale, thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you.
That is Dale Shilley, St. Louis City SC Academy director. You can hear him on Y98. Fresh off the pitch, he was, I guess, doing some shooting drills. That's Michael Kelley. I'm Amy Mark Scores. You want to keep listening the rest of the show, because we have Doobie Brothers tickets to give away, 2 sets of Doobie Brothers tickets. So you have 2 chances to win. So keep listening. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place, so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
It doesn't take a lot to make a big difference.
That's why we've teamed up with Jerry Kelley Heating and Cooling to bring you 100 acts of kindness.
For the next 6 months, the Chris and Amy Show is challenging you to spread kindness in simple, meaningful ways. No big budget needed.
Write a thank you note, help a neighbor, surprise someone with a smile. It all counts.
Let's prove that kindness is contagious. Share your acts with us by using hashtag 100KindActs.
Because a little kindness goes a long way.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend. Oh, my Bob!
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Did you know that McKelvey builds custom homes on individual sites throughout the metropolitan area? We have sites in prime locations from Rock Hill to Wildwood, including several in the coveted Ladue School District. Experience why many have chosen McKelvey Homes with our legendary quality and personalized service to build their dream home. Visit our newly completed Turnberry at 19 Beaver Drive, just north of Ladue and east of Lindbergh. It is loaded with features and now open. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
If you're over the age of 65 or an adult living with a disability, you know navigating the Medicare system can be hard. But Missouri's area agencies on aging look out for you by providing free, unbiased Medicare counseling. They will determine if you can save money or help you pick and even enroll in the plan that is best for you. They can even help you apply for Medicare savings programs. Contact your local area agency on aging at 800-235-5503. Paid through a grant from the Administration for Community Living, grant number 2401 MOM-IAA 01.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kellwood, St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
You're never going to believe this. We're
What?
giving away Doobie Brother tickets.
Light them up.
As Michael
Let's go.
said, it's been a real Doobie show.
Yeah.
It's a Doobie show. So be the 5th caller to the contest line right now. 314-955-1120. Right now.
If you go to a Doobie Brothers concert,
Yes.
you cannot complain about the smell of weed.
You can't unless, like me, you thought that Doobie was their last name. For a
No,
long
it's
time.
not.
It's not. I thought
You
it
know,
was like
there's a guy from the Doobie Brothers right here in St. Louis.
Michael
right?
McDonald. Yeah.
So, a couple of years ago, maybe a year ago, went to New York with my mom, sitting outside of Radio City Music Hall at a restaurant across the street.
Yep.
Look up and it says, tonight, the Doobie Brothers. I walked across the street. They said, you got tickets? I said, yeah. Bought 4 tickets and we went and watched the Doobie Brothers right after dinner.
That's fun. What, Michael McDonald, Doobie Brothers?
Michael McDonald,
Oh,
Doobie Brothers.
I do love his
It was
voice.
so great there. Radio City Music Hall.
That's
center of the world.
really funny.
Yeah, and it was a cheap ticket. It's like $50.
That's really
In
fun.
New York City, $50.
I've never been
you
to
can't
radio.
take the subway for that.
No, you can't. Yeah, I've never I've been to Radio City Music Hall.
What? Not
Yeah.
even to see the Rockettes at Christmas time?
No.
Amy, you've never been to New York in
I've
the
been
winter?
to New York.
But I mean, have you been in the wintertime, Christmas?
I've been. Okay, they were putting the scaffolding was still around the Rockefeller tree. It was
Cool.
November.
That's enough.
And that was really cool. And I've done that, and then I've also been in the spring. But no, I haven't gone to New York like after the scaffolding was taken down.
Yeah.
But I do love New York.
Well, I love New York too. I'm one of those people though, if I'm there, and I'm going to also go walk into Times Square at nighttime because I always think it's so cool that
Yeah.
that literally is the center of the world and it's the brightest place on the planet.
It's overstimulation.
Yeah.
We've got voicemails from the Odyssey app.
Uh-oh.
This one's from Kathleen.
I drove east on Gravois Road from Lindbergh down to the Bevo. And even with my windows rolled up and eventually my air conditioning turned off, the stinkweed coming into my car made me not only nauseous, but I worried I was high.
You weren't.
Okay. Well, Kathleen, I appreciate that. And I will say, I had a similar experience on Olive Boulevard, right at 270 heading west. I was not high. I didn't get high, but I did have a stomach ache and I followed this car and it was pretty trafficky. So I'm stuck behind this car, slow moving traffic. You're stopped at the never ending string of traffic lights. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to
I'm
die
getting baked.
if I don't get around this person. And so I don't know if I made a bad move or an aggressive move to get around it.
Uh-huh.
And like you could see the windows were shut, but in my mind, like a Bugs Bunny cartoon, I could see smoke coming out of the
Yeah.
cracks of the car. But it was so irritating.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I've smelled it with cars in front of you, people blowing it out the window, and then it comes in your air conditioning. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Got another voice message from Scott about the labor unions.
Let's not also forget about the educators who are members of the largest union in the United States of America, largest union in the state of Missouri, NEA. These people are working every day to educate our students, and they need to be recognized as well.
Well, I listen, Labor Day's for all of us. And when it comes to organized labor, teachers are one of the most vital parts of it. So I wasn't trying to slight them. I was lumping them all together. That's what happens. Like generally when we use the word, sometimes people use the word trades. They may not understand that that's just a specific sect inside of organized labor. I think we were kind of talking about everybody. Who appreciates more what teachers do than you and I, Amy?
I know.
You loved it and I hated it.
I do. I love school. I did, but I know it's a little bit different though because I was homeschooled. That's what I said this morning, Michael. You would
We're
have
made
loved
to be homeschooled.
homeschooling with us. Can you imagine waking up on a cold like November day and you wake up, you walk downstairs to the smell of cinnamon rolls.
Right.
And there's a fire going in the fireplace. And
Where'd you live in? Norman Rockwell's house?
Little house on the prairie.
I mean, what's going on? You know what's going on at 7 a.m. in my house? Are you ready? Oh my God, get to the car. Michael, for gosh sakes, comb your hair. You didn't have that?
Nope.
Did you have to get dressed to go to school?
Well, I mean, yes, of
Come
course.
down in your PJs?
Yeah, no. And this was like a question people would always ask us. Do you have to make your bed? Do you have to get dressed? And I'm like, I would always, what? No, what do you mean get dressed? Yes, we got dressed. We made our beds. We were very responsible. I started school early because I liked to be done early. So I was in second grade, waking myself up, starting math on my own at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
That was just how I ruled.
Yeah,
our family rule was
Brown nosing your mom.
Listen,
she's gonna love you no matter what, whether you read or not.
You don't play favorites. Listen, it was 3 girls and a baby brother. We were all fighting against the baby brother to get some attention. But no, I kid. My mom was amazing, and our family rule was start school by 8.
Is that right?
It was up to you. I mean, you were responsible, so you had to start by 8, but you could start earlier.
Oh, you could start earlier?
That's why I
you know what
started at
happened?
6.
At 8 o'clock, you'd hear me jumping down the stairs.
Falling down the stairs.
To get there just in time.
Joining us next, Kurt Ringkamp. He's the general manager of the Gateway Grizzlies. The Frontier League playoffs are coming up, as is the greatest night in baseball. It involves toilet paper and a baseball field. It's on the Chris and Amy show on KMOX.
Charlie Brennan once again with Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. Dr. Bosler, is it possible we might say, oh, those kids are mumbling, when the problem really is our own inability to hear?
Exactly. Hearing is integral in everything that we do. It keeps us involved and embraced in life. Not hearing someone is never normal. Ringing in the ears is never normal. And when people have a hearing loss, oftentimes they complain that they can hear, but they cannot understand people. And avoiding getting a hearing aid can have long-term effects on the speech reception area of the brain. So what that means is if you test and treat the hearing loss early with a hearing aid, we can prevent a decline in the speech understanding that can happen if the hearing loss goes untreated.
The words of Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center. 3 locations in St. Louis, 636-441-7470, the Audiology Center, STL.com.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at my favorite sports fantasy app, Underdog. So baseball's still going on. Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can play right now in Missouri. Playing on Underdog is super easy. Just choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Download the Underdog app today and sign up with promo code Glover to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code Glover. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog, and you could be next. Underdog, make plays, win money. I have had so much fun on this app, had a great time with my beloved St. Louis Cardinals, now gearing up for the NFL season. Play and win at Underdog using promo code Glover to score $50.
It is 11 o'clock, and we've got sunshine, 78 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Some Palestinian Authority and Palestine Liberation Organization officials are not going to be able to attend next month's annual UN General Assembly session in New York, as they have in the past, because Secretary of State Marco Rubio has revoked their visas.
In a statement, the State Department said Rubio has also ordered the denial of some new applications from Palestinian officials. It's not clear how many visas have been revoked or how many applications will be denied. The statement said before the groups can be considered partners for peace, quote, they must consistently repudiate terrorism, including the October 7th massacre.
That is CBS's Christopher Cruz reporting. Today is the day the U.S. has begun implementing new tariffs on small packages from around the world.
Ordering goods to enter America duty-free. As of today, all packages entering the U.S. will be subject to whatever tariff applies to the country it's coming from. Confusion over how that's to be implemented has meant many postal services around the world have paused all deliveries to the U.S. for now. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
The check is in the mail unless it was stolen. A former U.S. Postal Service employee has admitted in federal court she stole checks out of the mail. Cambria Hopkins of Florissant was a mail carrier in Clayton. She told a judge she snatched checks and gave them to Malik Jones, who would pay her in cash or through Cash App. She also gave Jones her mail key, knowing he would use it to steal mail. Jones has already pleaded guilty, according to Fox 2. Both are awaiting sentencing. The St. Louis Police Foundation will not be renewing an agreement to boost the salary of the St. Louis police chief an extra $100,000 a year. The foundation's Michelle Craig says it was just a 3-year deal and there are no discussions about continuing it. Maryville University says it has reached a major milestone in its push to bring NCAA Division I hockey to its program. So far, $2.2 million has been raised toward a $5.5 million goal. Director of hockey and men's coach John Hogan says that will go toward expansion of Maryville University's hockey center in Chesterfield.
We would put a shovel in the ground sometime next spring. We would start the transition as early as next season, and hopefully we'd be off the ground playing a full NCAA D1 schedule the 27-28 calendar year.
Hogan says the NCAA designation would give players a varsity level experience with a chance to face top opponents across the country. The planned transition will start the men's hockey program, but he says the hope is eventually to expand it to the women's program as well.
A nice afternoon with sunshine that'll warm to 86, and tonight will be clear with lows ranging from 55 in parts of Metro East to 64 downtown at the Arch. More sun than clouds tomorrow. Another warm, dry day, high 86. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's sunny and 78 degrees at 11:03. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Chris Ranchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, here is some exciting news. If you want to go to playoff baseball here in St. Louis, you can. You can, or in the St. Louis area.
You can?
You can. And
Where?
to tell us how, Kurt Ringkamp, general manager of the Gateway Grizzlies, in studio, the Gateway Grizzlies of the Frontier League. We'll just kick it off. The playoffs start on Wednesday for you guys.
Yeah, we clinched last weekend, so we got a wild card spot. I'm not sure who we're playing yet, but officially now we know after last night's results, we'll be playing Wednesday at home. It's a 3-game series, so this will be the only home game we have for that first round. So we're doing $5 tickets for everywhere in the ballpark. We want the place packed. We want fans here to encourage the players. They get excited when it's a good crowd and they're cheering them on. So it can be tough when there's not a lot of time to sell these tickets when you don't know the date. So it's hopefully if people haven't been out to a game yet, they can watch some playoff baseball. Like you said, the only playoff baseball maybe this year. So it'll be exciting.
I think we can say that affirmatively. This will be the only playoff baseball.
Someone in sports, I usually wait until you're eliminated, but yeah, I know.
Right. It's okay. We're prepared for it, but it is really fun. I think it's great, like you said, to get a good crowd. And again, we jumped right into the playoffs. Thank you for joining us in the studio. We do have Jen watching on YouTube, and she says, "Go Grizzlies."
Okay,
so she's
great,
ready for it. She's ready for the playoffs. So, Kurt, as you mentioned, $5 tickets.
$5 tickets. Yep. $5 tickets for anywhere in the ballpark. We want, like I said, we want the place packed and, there's plenty of great seats. So you can go to GayleyGrizzlies.com right now and get your tickets. We also have a bundle too, where you can get playoff shirts and stuff like that too. So
$5. You can't do anything for $5 anymore.
I know.
That's the
Come on
greatest
down,
deal
yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
It cost me that much in gas to get there. That's the cheapest ticket out there. It's family friendly.
Yeah.
Lots of affordable food, things for kids to do at the game as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff. So, I mean, this is the last weekend of the regular season starting tonight. We're actually at home. So we have tonight's Military Appreciation Night that's presented by Uncommon. So anyone that's active military, retired, anything, it's free tickets for them, then $5 tickets for any family members as well. So, and then we're wearing special military jerseys that we'll auction off at the end of the game. And we got fireworks tonight too. So it's, and then Sunday's our big one. It's called the Greatest Night in Baseball. That's presented by Dutch House Supplies. It's my favorite game of the year. It's always a packed house. So we give out 27 prizes for 27 outs. So when everybody comes in, we'll give you a free raffle ticket. After each out, we'll give out a prize. It could be, we got concert tickets, Cardinals tickets, Blues tickets, NASCAR tickets for that race coming up. We got gift cards, $250 gift card for Cavenders, a bunch of memorabilia, signed stuff from professional sports, and a bunch of Grizzly swag and some surprises too. So,
and this is the game, and I'll let you explain. But the greatest night in baseball game, is that the night you bring your toilet paper?
It is, yes.
Everybody bring
we
toilet
TP
paper.
the ballpark, yeah. So we'll actually, Dutch Owl, they supply, I think it was like 2,500 rolls. So we'll give out those at the front gate as well. But we encourage fans to bring as many as you want. You'll see people with like 6 or 7 bags of toilet paper. They'll bring them in. We'll sell some too after the 6th inning that we donate to Cardinal Glennon. So some extra stuff there. That's always fun. But yeah, once that last out hits, everyone just lets them fly. They go on the field, goes on the nets. And then the players, they come out of the dugouts. They'll throw them back into the crowd and stuff like that. It's wild.
Are you on the cleanup crew then?
I am. Yeah, I am. We actually, Webster University, they play their baseball games at our stadium. So we actually recruit their team to come help out that night. So they're kind of the full cleaning crew, but yeah, we get everybody to help clean. And as long as there's no rain in the forecast, we can get it up pretty fast.
Yeah.
One year it rained a little bit and try getting wet toilet
Who
paper.
knows when you need that toilet paper? Remember in COVID when we were fighting and wrestling each other in grocery stores for it?
Well,
I might have to show up and get me a pallet of that stuff.
Now there's no evidence.
There's a lot, and we just throw it away. But
So how long have you guys been doing the toilet paper night, the TPing of the baseball field?
Yeah, I would say, this is, I'm more sure it says 25th year.
Yeah.
So it's, this is our 25th season. I started in 2013. I know it was already a staple then. So I don't know the official first year, but I mean, it's got to be over at least 20 years by now.
Because I was wondering, how sometimes there's a great idea and then people find a way to ruin it. Like they had Dollar Dog Night at one of the major league ballparks, and everybody was throwing hot dogs on the field.
I saw that.
So
Yeah.
I didn't know if you've ever done a fan involved. It's not a stunt, but what would you call it? A fan involved
Just promotion
that has gone wrong.
Like burning the disco
The
album.
disco?
Yeah, that's funny you say that because the Slammers, they did the hot dog drop from a helicopter this year when we were up there. So they dropped they'll try to do the world record. I mean, working in independent baseball, we're always trying to think of some wild things that could work. Some don't work. Some are great. You just got to kind of see what's going to work and put in the effort.
Slammers is kind of a lame name, isn't it? I mean, Grizzlies, at least you got like some heft to it. You got that mascot. Oh, it's a Slammers
Well, that's
mascot.
because they had the prison was up there in Joliet.
Is that what it is?
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. So
That's kind of cool, Michael.
They're the Joliet Slammers. It's cool. The logo's pretty cool. They're wearing it's like a bird. He's got like a jail cap hat on and stuff like that.
Orange? Are their suits orange?
They do have orange in their logo though. So yeah.
That's pretty good. The company
I
Gray
like
Bar.
the Grizzlies better.
Yeah.
Gray Bar.
They could sponsor them. They should have the
Gray Bar.
the Gray Bar Stadium.
Yeah.
At any rate, that is really cool. And I will say, my mind went here because, of course, the Savannah Bananas just absolutely killed it. Sold out Busch Stadium. A lot of people who wanted to go didn't get a chance to go. And this is, what an opportunity. It has so many similar elements.
Yeah, it's funny that you actually bring up the banana. So it's everybody knows them now. I would say at least once a week for the last 5 years, someone has came up to me asking me if I know who the Bananas are, if the Grizzlies can play them, if we can do a lot of the stuff that they do in the games. And, I'm always like, well, we're a professional league.
Right.
We can't have a guy batting with stilts on, stuff like that. So after maybe the 100th time, I was finally like, you know what, let's just give the people what they want. So we created Spooky Ball is what we call it. So it's our version of the Savannah Bananas.
Nice.
I kind of wanted to do something with the Halloween. And so we do, there's trick-or-treating before the game. There's a home run derby before the game. We do costume contests too. And then during the game, it's wild stuff. So like the teams, they'll do dance-offs in between innings for extra runs. We'll do like random karaoke. Mascots will play in the game. We integrate every sport. So football, soccer, hockey. We had a goalie out there in full pads last year. So it was it's a lot of fun too. So it's we didn't want to just mimic the Bananas. We want to do our own thing, and it's that's presented by SEFCU. That's coming up on October 18th, and it's going to be, last year was our first year doing it, so we got a lot of new fun ideas for this year. It's going to be a good time.
What a great idea. And because like you said, that's kind of leaning into the Savannah Bananas type ball, which people have compared to the Harlem Globetrotters. I don't know if that's fair or not, but want to make clear, I think what's so cool about the greatest night in baseball, you're watching real competitive professional baseball. I mean, these are real playoffs. And again, the Bananas obviously insanely talented, but this is a totally different ball game, no pun intended. This is a totally different ball game. This is a real league. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds in that you can have some fun, have a little more access and interaction with the players, but it's real baseball and real playoffs.
Yeah, it's funny too, because it's like baseball for especially for that night. It's kind of just like the appetizer.
Yeah.
Because there's so much other stuff going on. We'll have bounce houses. We got face painting for that night. We got a balloon artist that's coming. I think there's a band. We got a band playing before the game, and then we have the biggest fireworks show of the season after that toilet paper. So
that's dangerous.
Yeah, we actually it's we got to get that kind of cleaned up first, and then and the players are actually it's another themed jersey. We do a fan design contest. So I think it's a 9-year-old. She won the contest. So we're wearing jerseys that she designed. That's cool. We actually have a bull coming too this year as well. He's going to kind of throw out the first pitch and
say what?
Yeah. So
an actual animal,
real bull's coming. Yeah. So it's we're hosting the TK Pro Rodeo in October 3rd and 4th. So we wanted to kind of promote that a little bit at this game and give fans something to see and stuff. So he'll be there, and it's he'll be out on the field.
Wasn't Brewster's Millions team the Bulls with Richard Pryor? I think they were. Remember they had the train that went through the outfield?
Yeah, I don't know.
A bull throwing out a baseball. That is worth $5 right there. I want to see it.
You should bring that bull that they rescued in St. Charles. Remember the bull that got loose?
Oh, was there one like walking around the road?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
Could you imagine seeing a bull and throwing a baseball on top of it all?
He'll be out there, and then we're moving him to the kids zone. We have a separate area of that.
Then we're gonna eat him, or what?
No, he'll be there for pictures. And,
cool.
So that'll be fun too. So
that's really fun. Okay, going back to the Spooky Ball, which is it's like banana ball. This is the Grizzlies playing Spooky Ball.
It's not the Grizzlies. It's not the Grizzlies. We went the Grizzlies, the professional league. So we don't want to kind of go down that route. So we actually partner with a Lewis and Clark baseball team.
Nice.
Their head coach is one of our bench coaches. So they come out. We do practices for leading up to the game. They have a lot of fun with it. They're college kids. I mean, and they're baseball players, so it's still good baseball too.
Right.
So it's we donate money to their baseball program to have them help us out and stuff like that. So it's it's still entertaining and stuff like that. It's still baseball. So
awesome. Okay, so we give the people a lot of information. The big thing you need to know: Grizzlies playoffs start Wednesday in just a few days, September 3rd. But before that, you're going to have the greatest night in baseball on August 31st, as you mentioned. Tons of prizes, 27 prizes for 27 outs, plus, all these other giveaways. And of course, you can bring your own toilet paper. You can buy toilet paper. Then later on in October, they have the TK Pro Rodeo, Bulls in the Ballpark. Later in October, the Spooky Ball. So a lot to look forward to with the Gateway Grizzlies. You go to gatewaygrizzlies.com. All the information, all the tickets.
Yep, everything's on there. TK Pro Rodeo, October 3rd and 4th. It's the 3rd is Bulls in the Ballpark. It's actually the World Tour championships for bull riding. So you're going to have like the top 30 riders in the country competing for a big money payout in the title. So it's, you know, I know there's a lot of local rodeos in some communities and stuff like that, but this is some real good talent. It's going to be very entertaining. And then that Saturday, October 4th is just, you know, the traditional full rodeo with steer wrestling, you know, barrel racing, still have bull riding and stuff as well. TK Pro Rodeo, that's presented by Ray LaFour Truck Service. So we transform the whole field. We bring in 2 million pounds of dirt. It's we got seats right on the field that are still available. It's a wild time too there at the rodeo seeing that. So it's like you said, GatewayGrizzlies.com. Tickets are on sale now.
Kurt Ringkamp, General Manager of the Gateway Grizzlies. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good to chat with you. He's Michael Kelley. I'm Amy Mark Scores. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Registered by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. If you or someone you know has a home to sell, call Gloria Lou. That's right, Gloria Lou, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is here with me now. And when it comes to St. Louis area market conditions, what advice do you have for home sellers in today's market?
Well, most importantly, I understand every seller's situation is different. Some sellers need to sell, and some sellers want to sell. And a lot of my sellers are looking to buy, and they also have a home to sell. My advice in this uncertain market is to get an upfront written guarantee. That way, you know exactly how much you stand to make with your home sale. My guarantee sale offer is simple. I'll sell your home at 100% of market value, or I'll pay you the difference.
Take it from me, Debbie Monterey. Sell with certainty and an upfront written guarantee with Gloria Lou. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
You know, I know you'd ask about non-stinky weed. There are vaporizers that smell like strawberry and watermelon and blue gelato. So, you know, the ones who are doing it and then smelling like weed, that's a choice for them. So just want to let you know, happy Friday.
You know what? That was the kind of detail that you don't get unless you've had personal experience.
What do you think the smell of blue gelato is like?
blue is always raspberry for some reason, right?
Right, or blueberry.
I don't think it's ever blueberry. Everything's always blue raspberry.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
I
It
think
must be hard to make some synthetic taste of a blueberry.
Well, yeah, and also I think there's too many reds because there's like cherry and strawberry. So if you throw in raspberry and watermelon's pink, maybe they just needed a different color.
Right. So there's an ice cream shop here in town. I don't know if they advertise with us, so I won't use their names.
Oh.
But they've got this thing called watermelon taffy, Amy. And it's like a watermelon ice cream. It's so delicious.
Is it because at first.
Watermelon taffy.
Okay.
So that's kind of what the taste is.
I need to try it. I need to try it because I can't tell. Have you ever had bubblegum soda?
No, but I've had bubblegum ice cream.
Which is a little weird, right?
Very weird.
Is this as weird as that?
No.
Okay.
This is far better because it's the watermelon taste. And I don't think you could have put just the watermelon taste in by itself.
Yeah.
I think you needed something else to give it a little chewiness. And I know that I don't even mean like real chewing, but
right.
Gives it a little substance. But I'm a real fan of it. And they only sell it in their stores. You can't get it in the grocery store. So I'm known to be there occasionally picking it up.
Really?
Yeah, I can pick you up a pint or 3 if you'd like.
Okay. I need to write down the offers because you have offered watermelon, taffy ice cream, and a U2 concert.
Well, that's because you said I don't even know what U2 sings.
No,
I mean,
I said, are they still touring?
Are they still touring? Yeah, I don't know. Are the Rolling Stones? Is Paul McCartney? Yes. U2. They just did a month at the Sphere.
So where are they now if they're done?
Well, I mean, they're taking a break. They're writing some more music, and then they're going to go out again. And when they go out again, if we're lucky enough to have them come here in St. Louis, because the big concerts have been passing us by lately.
I know.
Another sign of things not going well.
Then the dome situation with the dome being short on cash for the necessary improvements.
Where are you at on that? What do you think they ought to do? Tear it down? It's just a giant old building. What are we going to store the Hindenburg in it?
Well, that's a great point. So I guess I feel with the dome, it's really sad because it's starting to feel just like a shell of better times. But if we can lean into fixing up the dome and fixing up downtown and somehow pursuing the reality of Indianapolis, I think that's the right move. Once you tear down the dome, I can't tell if that is tearing down the dome for something better or tearing down the dome and the admission that nobody wants to come here and we don't want to support these types of structures. But we're not going to be Nashville ever. We don't have the music scene. We're not Nash Vegas. We can't compete with sexier towns. What we could compete with, if we could get our act together, is Indianapolis. That's leaned into sports, conventions, and the NCAA, which of course I know is a big deal having the NCAA.
Well, the NCAA requires some of those big stadiums, but let's be frank, this dome is 40 years past its life. If you've been to any of these stadiums, they're being built around the country. Heck, what's Atlanta on? They're on their second ballpark since we built the new Cardinal ballpark.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay,
so I mean, all these stadiums are really investing that kind of money. It would be awesome to have a world-class football type facility in St. Louis, but you're looking at what, $2 billion?
And I know there were a lot of people against, maybe it was the TIFs and so forth, the tax breaks for fixing up Enterprise Center.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so glad we did.
Yeah.
Because there were NCAA tournaments that would not have come here. There are other major events and Olympic trials that we would not have gotten. And I'm grateful that at least some of those improvements were made and were done when the Blues won the Cup, because it really put on display how great Enterprise is. And so maybe it's worth it, but where do you get the funding? Do you have to have a private group jump in?
So here's what I would tell you. A friend of mine has this expression, I don't like to talk. I worked on that effort to get the money for the center over here, the Enterprise Center.
Yeah.
It was vital that it got done, and it faced huge resistance. Even on this radio station, people calling in, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Politicians, maybe even the mayor herself, filed lawsuits and tried to oppose this. And I would argue to you that it's probably the single largest economic driver right now in downtown St. Louis with the Cardinals in the state they're in.
And it would not be hard to throw some numbers down on a chart and show just how much enterprise benefits St. Louis. I mean, we're hanging on to it. We talk about hanging on to the Cardinals and what would the city be without the Cardinals. They're such a big part, not only of our selfhood, our identity as a city, but also an economic driver. The Blues and enterprise.
The concerts, baby.
Oh, the concerts.
Dancing on ice.
The
and
gymnastics
little kid stuff.
Yes, and the gymnastics Olympic trials. And I think we're getting some March Madness basketball. I believe we're getting some March Madness basketball.
I think we're getting that. I think we've gotten wrestling. I think we're getting ice skating.
Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that wouldn't have come to St. Louis. Also, when you get concerts, and this is so important, when you get these concerts, when you get these events, they help prevent your city from sliding into obscurity. And when St. Louis lost the Rams, that's perhaps the most loss of elevation that you're going to get in a single swoop is losing an NFL team, and you don't want to become irrelevant.
No, and what is frustrating to me, Amy, and we've even watched this now in the Kansas City fight. Well, if they want a new stadium, they can pay for it themselves. All fine and well, great rhetoric. It isn't true, because everybody is lining up, even in the world's largest cities, to build these Taj Mahals for these folks. Baseball is our identity. I have no problem with us investing in the facilities of the Cardinals. I don't like the rules of the game. I don't like that we got to that place. But if they're financing stadiums in New York and Atlanta, guess what you're going to have to do in St. Louis? Finance that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's what gives us the intangibles that still makes us feel somewhat relevant. I mean, I like the fact that the big artists that aren't doing the stadiums, unfortunately, we don't have those that come here anymore, but that they come here and you have a chance to go see everybody from the rappers to the heavy metalers to the Disney on Ice.
Yeah. No, when
How
you
about
have
that commercial for Enterprise?
that was a great commercial. I think before the renovations were done, that was when Coldplay skipped over St. Louis to play at the Sprint Center.
Hello.
Is that the Sprint
It's like
Center
a
in
quarter
Kansas
of the
City?
size of the Enterprise
Yeah.
Stadium.
Yeah. And so it wasn't even like Coldplay left us to go to Arrowhead.
No.
It was Coldplay went to Sprint. And then also, we want Taylor Swift to come to St. Louis.
She ain't coming. We don't have a big enough venue. Maybe the baseball stadium, if she does baseball stadiums.
Or if they fixed up the dome and made it great.
Fixed it up. You got
Knocked
$2
it
billion
down?
laying around?
Well,
Because it'd be better to build it'd probably be cheaper to build a new one.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
With a better sound system, that thing is not good for concerts.
No. We got so many problems. We need an airport that people can get here. So maybe we ought to focus on that first.
He's Michael Kelley. I'm Amy Mark Scores. Man, we've got more conversation. Matt Pajeski, our producer, has a question about sporting event etiquettes because he's got a lot of problems with you people.
Now you're going to hear about it.
And now you're going to hear about it. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
When it comes to baseball in St. Louis, there's one station that's all in. KMOX. At noon, it's the Gas House Gang.
Let's talk some baseball.
Smart, unfiltered conversation with real baseball minds. At 5, the Redbird Rush Hour delivers sharp insight, fresh takes, and the latest from inside the clubhouse.
Now the pitch.
And when it's game time, we bring you every single pitch, all season long.
It's a gunner!
Others talk sports. We live Cardinals baseball. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. The Saliga family's been taking great care of St. Louis since 1927 and still have the best and most trustworthy customer service in town. Saliga can handle all of your heating and air conditioning needs for home or business. They offer free estimates and financing options, and they won't leave you hanging if there's an emergency. The Miklas family's been calling on Saliga for more than 15 years, and we fully appreciate their knowledge, their class, and their integrity. Saliga's never tried to pressure us. They always take the time to discuss all the available options, including low-cost solutions. Saliga has saved us good money with their Priority Club maintenance program, which extends the life of our equipment. Members receive priority service and the peace of mind in knowing their home will be safe and comfortable during all 4 seasons. The Miklas family truly values Saliga Heating and Cooling, and you will too. For more information, call Saliga at 314-481-7333 or visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing, not running out of money. And preparing for retirement can sometimes be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Find out how to build your retirement on your terms. Join host Steve All for the All Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX. You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
I always get asked, when's the best time of the year to purchase an air conditioning and heating system for your home? My response is always the same. If you call me and have a free consultation on your needs and based on your budget, it's always a good time. There's never a bad time. You don't fear my pricing. I try to buy as much as I can at the start of the season, and anything we have left over, it's still a discounted price to you. So if you're looking or you're waiting before winter, because we all put it off, man, we all put it off. None of us like to spend money. But if you know you're going to be doing something before winter, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
That's Matt Pajeski, our producer of this show, who, by the way, does a ton of work and keeps us in line. We couldn't exist without Matt.
I agree with you. And he plays fabulous music. The problem that I have when Matt is with us, because normally our producer doesn't mix in any music or anything that's kind of along the lines of what we're up to.
Yeah.
When you pull out that song right there from the Billy Joel, I just want to sit and sing it. Yeah. I don't want to talk. I want to sing it to Amy.
Maybe that's why your producer doesn't play it.
I didn't know about that song until you told me about it.
Yeah, it's about depression, manic depression. These are not
Falls.
the best times, but they're the only times I've ever known.
That's a good lyric.
It is an incredible lyric.
I
Billy
love
Joel's
Billy
a
Joel.
special man.
I've seen Billy
You probably
Joel.
wouldn't go because you wouldn't know what songs he's going to play.
I know. I love Billy Joel. I got Billy Joel tickets for my birthday. Thank you very much.
Did you?
I've seen Billy Joel twice now at Busch Stadium.
Well done.
Thank you.
Amy and I just had a conversation about Paul McCartney, and I said, that's a guy you want to go travel to see. And she goes, well, it depends on what he's going to play. What do you think he'd play? And I'm like, it's Paul McCartney. He could play Mary Has a Little Lamb.
I did.
Who cares?
I goes, you got to play that song. Everybody's going to dance tonight. And
Everybody
Michael
gonna
looked at
dance
me like I
tonight.
had two heads.
Yeah.
I don't care if he plays Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's Paul McCartney.
Now, he does have a song that he does with Kanye West that I guess would probably be off his list now, but it's
Yeah.
great. I'm 45 seconds to wild. I'm 45 seconds from wildin'. You know what I'm talking
that
about?
song. I do.
Rihanna and
I didn't know Paul McCartney was in that song.
he's playing the guitar. He wrote it.
I didn't know that. I thought it was.
Yes.
I knew Rihanna was on that.
Paul
album.
McCartney is like, I don't know. I guess the biggest stars to die in my lifetime, pop stars, would be Michael Jackson. I don't remember Elvis. Princess Diana. Paul McCartney, like, he's even bigger than that to me because I feel like he's like a living Bach or Beethoven.
Yeah.
Like Paul McCartney gonna be talked about 1,000 years from now, like Beethoven is talked about.
Yeah. No, I mean, the Beatles were a phenomenon and changed the trajectory of
Did you
music.
and Brad Young rip on them yesterday,
No,
or just Bruce Springsteen?
I'm a huge Beatles super fan. Do you remember the store in Union Station called Beatles for Sale?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I would go there all the time.
Yeah.
I had a Beatles T-shirt.
Yes.
I remember when the Beatles.
You got rid of it?
Well, I think I was like 11, so
Yeah, probably would still fit you.
it might. But the Beatles for Sale, the Beatles anthology also came out when I was maybe like 11, 10, 11. And we watched it when it was released in parts on television.
Hey, Beatles C.
It was so good. It was so good. All right. Before we
Done
forget
talking about that
completely. Well, I need we need him to air his grievances.
Please, yes.
I've got
hear ye.
I've got mixed feelings about this, and it could be at concerts or sporting events. When do you guys feel it is appropriate to stand up from your seat and have other people in your row stand up so you can leave or return to your seat? Is it anytime? Is it maybe after an at-bat at a baseball game or once the inning is over? Hockey, I think sometimes the ushers tell you to wait until there's a stoppage in play. Do you guys have rules for yourself?
I do. I try to be as non-intrusive to others as possible, and it's even caused me to buy season tickets that were on the aisle.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, I remember going with my dad, and we would be at the game. He didn't care. If he had to go to the bathroom, he was standing up and getting out. It's a line, and nobody was going to stop him. So I was like, okay. So when I got my season tickets, I'm like, we're going to have an aisle seat so my dad won't disrupt people.
Yeah.
But in concerts specifically, you must wait to leave or to come in at the end of a song.
I agree
You
with that.
cannot interrupt in the middle of a song.
Right.
That's where I have the strident feelings about it over any of the sporting events, because you can look around the guy at the Blues game or the baseball game.
It only takes a quick second, but there's a chance you might miss something at a baseball game or a hockey game. So I'm kind of glad the ushers at the Blues games and hockey games across the country, I'm sure they tell you, hey,
they hold you back.
Yeah, they hold you back or wait till a whistle to get you seated.
Right.
And I saw a tweet online. There's a sign at Marlins games saying, please let this at-bat finish before returning to your seat.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, Amy, do you suffer from, this is not a problem for Matt and I, but usually when I hang out with my friends who are a little shorter than me, they're the ones who sit, and something that never comes through my mind. Oh, yeah, I've got the tallest guy in the world sitting in front of me. Now I can't see anything.
That's a good point. So I think, one, I'm used to it, right? I've never experienced anything different. So if you are used to an unobstructed view, if you're used to an unobstructed view all the time, the minute you have some type of obstruction, you're going to notice it. If I'm always used to some kind of obstruction, I really don't notice it unless I can't get around it. For instance, at a baseball game, a lot of times I will, if it's like, men in front of me who are like, kids you can see over, but if it's men, I'm just used to leaning to one side so I can see in between them.
Really?
And that I'm used to. The times when I notice it the most are concerts where you're standing, because then sometimes I feel like you're just kind of
watching the screen.
Yeah, you're watching the screen because there may be a moment for you to look between the two people in front of you, but there's inevitably someone right there because you're all jammed in like sardines. So I think standing concerts is when I notice it the most, where I could be completely obstructed.
See that, Matt? We got height privilege, you and I.
So this is for you, Kelley. You and I are both over 6 feet tall. When you're in the front row, for a quick second, I feel bad. Like, oh, there's probably people behind me. I look around, there are people, like, short people behind me. But then I think, why should I feel bad? I can't help this. Like, I'm not going to not be in the front row to see my favorite band or whatever because of my height. Like, it's beyond my control. I'm here. I got the spot. Sorry, I'm not going to give it up. I know
Yeah.
it sucks for the people behind me, but what, I'm supposed to go to the back row now because I'm over 6 feet tall?
Well, honestly, I've never been a big timer like you and been in the front row of a concert.
Well,
So I don't know what that experience is like, but I do
He's
know
usually in
about
a
being
suite?
in a
Usually the sphere. Yeah.
I do understand what you I do understand what you mean about though standing up, because at a concert sometimes people don't stand up and stuff,
Yeah.
and then I'm always looking over because I'm so big. I'm the person they're going to throw things at.
Yeah.
They're not going to throw it at Amy unless I put her on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Then they'll throw something at her, but they're not going to throw it at her.
I'm so aware of I'm obstructing somebody. So
No.
the worst is
Ooh.
I hate the people sitting down when I'm standing
Yeah.
up. I know.
A bug?
A bug. Yeah, the toddler behind me. Listen, buddy, it's not my fault. Grow up. But I like when you're at a hockey game or a concert, I guess it's usually a concert, and maybe the people in front of you and the people in front of them are standing up, but the people behind you are sitting down. What do you do?
Sorry, it's a cascade.
Yeah.
If the people in front of you are standing up, you have the right to stand up. And if that means, and it feels really uncomfortable at a concert where maybe there are older people
Yeah.
who are sitting behind you, and you're just like, I'm sorry, what am I to do?
What am I supposed to
I've
do?
got butts in my face too,
Right.
which is what happens if
It
you're sitting and
does.
everybody else is standing.
It does.
Yeah.
So my baseball rule, Matt, about like your own personal rules, mine is you leave at the end of a half inning, you return at the end of an at bat. I never leave in the middle of an at bat.
Right. No,
So
you
it's
wait
just
till
a
the end
half
of an inning.
inning.
You know
Yeah.
what? That's a good point. But you can wait once somebody's done batting, you can go down and get
Go
your
down
seat.
and get your
Yeah.
seat. Yeah.
I'll do you one more. If it's say the Cardinals are playing the Cubs, there's Cardinals fans behind you and the Cubs are batting. I feel like the Cardinals fans behind me probably care less about the Cubs batting. Like I'm more
Yeah.
willing to get up when the opponent is batting than when the home team is batting.
Do you do it when you mean batting? Do you mean in between batters, or do you mean actually like even while someone's in the
I'll wait till
the
an at
box?
bat. When I'll wait till an at bat is over.
Yeah.
But I'm more willing to get up when
Yeah.
my team is not.
Yeah. In
batting.
fact, I remember being at the Dodger game with you, and you were like, when Shohei came up, you're like, I've got to go to the bathroom.
I
going
would
to
miss
get some
Shohei
beer.
for anything.
That's the worst. Though I do feel like for a while that I'd have the worst timing when I would get up during a Blues game, because at least with the Cardinals or with the baseball game, if you get up when the other team's batting, you're not going to miss your home run.
Yes.
Mhm.
But I swear for a while, every time I went to the bathroom, the Blues would score. You hear the horn, the
Yeah.
foghorn. You're like, ah!
You know when I was most scared as a child was when we would leave Cardinal games
Yeah.
after a Cardinal victory when I was a little guy. I'm
Yeah.
talking about when you're everybody else is waist height. And this is probably before both of your time, when we had the old stadium and there was that walkway
Yes.
coming out, and you're like a bunch of cattle, but
Yeah.
you're a little kid. So you're with large human
Yeah.
beings, and your face is down next to everybody, and you're jammed together.
Yeah, it's
I used
creepy.
to, it scared me.
So-
I hated it when I was a kid. I was like, can we leave earlier? Can we stay till everybody else goes?
I felt that in the old arena. Remember, because the concourse was a ramp.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
went
I was
up and down
I
on
was
it.
so young and I
Right.
didn't go there a lot, but I just remember the ramp getting really crowded as
Yes.
you walked around to your seats.
Especially at a Blues game. They were rowdy back there at the old arena.
Oh, they would have fights in the parking lot. Speaking of that, we have a 314. Mention that several people in my section at Enterprise Center yell, "Wait for a whistle," when someone gets up during play at Blues games.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a guy close to my section and he does it every time. And I always think, I want to do this when it comes to the end of a period. Like, there'll be 1 minute and 2 seconds. He'll yell, "Hey, announcer, how much time's left?"
Oh my gosh, yes,
And
that
then what's his
guy.
name will say, "There's 1 minute remaining in the period."
He-
And I always like, I want to remember to do that. And I never do.
No, don't be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy.
I think he's still around because
Yeah.
he must be 100 years old, because I remember that when I was younger, and I know I heard that as a couple of years
Yeah.
ago.
Because, well, it
Hey,
happens
Yeah.
3 times a game.
Do you guys know the honk guy at the Blues games?
The one that throws the towel?
No, there's a guy, just a season ticket holder. But
Let's go Blues.
But he says honk.
Okay.
He doesn't have a horn.
Oh, he just says honk, honk,
says
honk,
honk,
and
honk,
everybody
honk.
responds?
Well, some of the people around him, but it's a little too much, where if I had season tickets by the honk guy, I think I would get a little fatigued.
Yeah. You'd be giving them a conk. I'd
be like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I gotta share with you guys. When I was younger and I'd go to games or even concerts with my dad, he'd always make us leave like a few minutes early to beat the traffic and beat the, massive people. So we're at a Blues game. We're leaving, 2 or 3 minutes left in the final period. And we're in the car and listening to the game on the radio now because that's how early we left. And we're missing some huge fight. And I'm so angry at my dad. And I just hear, I think, Chris Kerber yelling, Barrett Jackman's beating the crap out of this guy. And I'm missing I'm missing this huge end of game brawl because I'm hearing it on the radio. I'm not at the game anymore. I'm just looking at my dad
well done there, big guy.
Can't believe we left and missed all of this.
And then did he say to you like Clark Griswold does, but Matt will be home before everybody else. Or when they go to Wally World and he parks in vacation, they park in the very back.
Yeah.
So we'd be able to leave first.
Yeah.
Well, I will say why were we just talking about this? I can't remember, but I think a lot of people changed their methodology of leaving early or not leaving early after the Game 6 David Freeze, the comeback, we'll see you tomorrow night. I think that rocked a lot of people's worlds and their theories of leaving early.
Yeah.
Because
but why would you ever leave a playoff or a World Series game? I mean, you just can't leave. You're so privileged to be there.
Yeah.
That leaving early kind of shows that you're kind of a tool.
We were I went to a World Series game with my friend and we were at the top of the parking garage, the couple's garage.
Hey, now.
That one. And we made a bet. It was an over under of 45 minutes of getting out of the garage. And I want to say it was 49 minutes it took us to get out of that garage. Yeah. But it was worth it. It's the World Series.
Was that a victorious game? Because everybody just honks their horns then, and that's annoying when you're in a parking garage for 45 minutes.
That's a great question. It was Game 5. Did we win or lose Game 5? And the reason why I don't remember because I don't.
You were drunk.
But it's because I was wasted. I was absolutely plastered. No, it was because I don't care because I had tickets. I had tickets to Game 6 and I gave them up because I had a hockey game with this collegiate team and I thought I was doing the right thing.
Play, did you?
I didn't even play and it was the worst night of my life. And I wish I had done the wrong thing, which is be selfish and go to Game 6. But instead, I went to Game 5. So I don't even care if we won or lost.
Yeah.
I was so sad. I had those tickets. I had the David Freeze Game 6 tickets in my hand.
Oh, Amy. Miserable.
Well, Michael also woke up upset the other day. Oh. And we're going to, you're going to tell the people why when we come back? Yeah.
Yes. It was miserable.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Tom Ackerman here for Busey Bank and Building Community. We honor the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum for using the history and lessons of the Holocaust to reject hatred, promote understanding, and inspire change. Visitors to the museum are empowered to translate the history of the Holocaust into meaningful action to make our community stronger. Visit the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum in person and online at stlholocaustmuseum.org.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President of Busey. Building Community is creating bridges that bring people together. A visit to the St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum reminds us that by rejecting hatred and embracing understanding, everyone feels safe, valued, and connected. A community where everyone thrives is what Building Community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
The legendary sound of the Doobie Brothers is rolling into town. Don't miss the show. Coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, September 4th, with special guest, the Coral Reefer Band. It's a night of timeless hits, epic harmonies, and classic rock energy like only the Doobies can deliver. Tickets are still available and can be found at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, head to KMOX.com/events.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey Illinois, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. Sorry, St. Louis, this message is for our friends in the Metro East. Did you know that most Missouri-based tree contractors can't legally travel into Illinois? This is due to federal motor carrier regulations that require large trucks and their drivers to be registered with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration in order to travel across state lines. Almost all other tree services in Missouri fail to meet the requirements for safety, drug and alcohol testing, and equipment maintenance that are required for interstate travel. Here at Timberline, we meet and exceed all of these requirements and will be glad to travel across the river to meet all of your tree care needs. Call us today at 636-479-7475 for tree fertilization, pruning, insect and disease treatment, or complete removal. Or visit our website at stltreecare.com. That's stltreecare.com for service in the Metro East area.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
Feel like your paycheck barely keeps up with your life? At the Financial Freedom Seminar, learn how real people are building passive income and retiring early using real estate. It's all happening live in St. Louis with Lifestyles Unlimited, September 27th and 28th. You'll leave with a step-by-step plan to change your future. Text radio to 88007. That's September 27th and 28th. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007 now.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
If you love Michael McDonald and the Doobie Brothers, you need to be the 7th caller right now to the contest line, 314-955-1120. 314-955-1120 right now for your chance to win Doobie Brothers tickets. Good luck. Also, I just totally accidentally lied. When I said the worst day of my life was when I gave up tickets to Game 6.
Yeah.
I said that it was in 2006. This wasn't the David Freese game in 2011. I gave up when Wainwright was the closer.
Oh, man.
That's the game. It was the World Series clinching game. That's what I was talking about. And I don't know why I went to, all of a sudden I was talking about Game 6 and David Freese. You would think, how could you possibly mix those up? I don't know. But it was 2006 because we had a texter remind us Game 5 before David Freese was in Texas. I gave up Game 6 in 2006 when Waino was the closer, and I will never forgive myself.
So you probably, going forward, should just not accept tickets and immediately say these are more worthy with someone else who would actually make it a priority to be there.
I was trying to be a good teammate.
Yeah.
And even my coach goes, oh, I would have skipped the team and gone to the game.
Well, and then your coach doesn't play you?
And he didn't play me.
Yeah.
And I cried. I cried a lot.
Well,
anyway,
I know something that'll make you happy.
Sure.
Sunday morning, you wake up, flip on the television right there in bed, 8:30, Channel 2.
Yes.
Hancock and Kelley, the television show.
Yes.
You can actually have a conversation with me while you lay in bed and I sit on the set at Channel 2.
There you go.
And watch the program. So Hancock and Kelley, 8:30.
If people aren't, I have it on a
DVR.
Yes.
Well
my
done.
YouTube. I don't. So even if I miss it at 8:30, I go back and watch it later.
And Amy, on Monday, I'm going to come in here with my good friend John Hancock, and we are going to goof around from 9 to noon while you and Chris recover from your drunken bender on Sunday evening.
Yeah.
And Hancock and I will be here to entertain you on your Labor Day.
Well, I appreciate it. That is true for one of us, the drunken bender. I guess he'll still be in Chicago.
When
I bet
he come home? Tuesday?
I don't know.
He's got to be on the radio Tuesday. They haven't asked me to do it.
Yeah, allegedly he's back by Tuesday.
I was a defender of Bruce Springsteen. I may not make it back after Brad Young apparently just gutting the guy.
Wait a minute. Now the texter said there was no game 6. What game did I got the series clinching game in 2006.
I think you ought to just drop the story from your repertoire.
Well, I know. Did they win in 5? In 2006? I don't remember. Guys, whatever it is,
It was when Wayno won.
It was when Wayno won. And you know what? It was a long time ago, and I cried a lot, and I'm upset about it because I had that game. And if I'm just lying on the air, I need to stop talking.
And if you're this nuanced on the points,
it's a pretty big point.
Come help me look at my taxes and see if we can find some ways to save some dollars, because that all went right past me.
I just want to say this. Every time I say I'd never want to stand trial because my memories get all jumbled and I feel guilty and I would convict myself somehow. These people who texted in about game 5 and game 6, now I said David Freese, and I said, why did you say that? It wasn't David Freese. This is why I will inevitably go to jail.
Yeah.
Thank you to our texters. And it was game 5. Game 6, the famous game 6 was David Freese in 2011. The clinching game was game 5 in 2006.
Let me ask you this. Do you think this real-time feedback from the listeners is helpful for your mental health and sanity?
No, I'm going to question everything because we didn't even get to why you're sad. You had a dream you won the lottery.
And I was I was paying off everybody I knew's house, and I woke up and I was mad because I didn't get to the part where I actually got to see people. I wanted to keep sleeping, and then I was angry.
Well, now I'm leaving this show just upset.
Hey, now.
Upset. But
always
thank
love
you.
being with you.
I love being with you, Michael.
I hope you have a good weekend.
Well, thank you.
I can't wait to hear Ranji's review of Oasis on Monday.
Tuesday. If he remembers it. Hey, but listen to John and Michael on Monday, Labor Day. They'll be live, local radio. It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
You ready? Oh my God, get to the car! Michael, for gosh sakes, comb your hair!
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.